Peace, 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 peace. We got a very special broadcast tonight. Big Aboriginal Power Debate League presents this is a Big Aboriginal Power production. We got Ahanu Kiel versus YK the Truth. Let's get right into the intros. Y'all know the vibe.
The Hollywood. Work is on its way, boy. Got a 4-5 and a new drum, but a new vibe in the street.
I sold my heart right to the streets and I can't play with that. This shit that I did for the streets, I'm not gonna talk about that. How about my youngins a new 40, told them play with that. So when them niggas spin the black, how you gonna play with that? Got a 4-5 with a new drum, but a new vibe in the streets. Lay it down on the back blocks that I died in the streets. 4-5 with a new drum, but a new vibe in the streets. Lay it down on the back blocks that I died in the streets. Bodies on my conscience, and I won't let it. Paranoia taking over, I won't let it. Out your right mind, you won't sober. But the streets took a toll on you, but you a soldier. This shit I seen too many times before. Drugs taking over, they won't let them go. They make a wrong move, fuck it, we gon' let it blow. He just let me know that niggas' minds ain't right. Only killing for protection, my young niggas got obsessions. For that clout, they gon' press him. Consumed by the hate, another snake that's gon' bless him. He's supposed to be your brother, but he's screaming out that slime shit. Got a blood oath with my family, that's my tie. Y'all put your faith in me, and now we got it, we gon' all shine. And that's my word to the streets. 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 That's my word, yeah. I sold my heart right to the streets and I can't play with that. This shit that I did for the streets, I'm not gonna talk about that. How about my youngins a new 40, told them play with that. So when the niggas spin the black, how you gon' play with that? Got a 4-5 with a new drum, bought a new vibe in the streets. Lay down on the back blocks that I died in the streets. 4-5 with a new drum, bought a new vibe in the streets. Lay down on the back blocks that I've died in the streets.
Father God, first I ask for forgiveness. I ask that you look past our times that we have fell short. Father God, for that one who do not know your love, Father God, I know that is my purpose to be a lighthouse in your grace. Wherever you lead my steps, whatever obstacle or hardships to come, I pray that you give us strength in the face of the enemy. Father God, thank you for listening to my soul. Amen.
I sold my heart right to the streets and I can't play with that. This shit that I did for the streets, I'm not gonna talk about that. How about my youngins a new 40, told them play with that. So when them niggas spin the black, how you gon' play with that? Got a 4-5 with a new drum, bought a new vibe in the streets. Man down on the back blocks that I've died in the streets. 4-5 with a new drum, bought a new vibe in the streets. Man down on the back blocks that I've died in the streets.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We about to get right into it, family. We about to get right into it. Make sure y'all support the channel. Make sure y'all support the movement. This is going to be a lit one. This is going to be a lit one. All right. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Thumb up the video. Support the channel, man. We in here with it. So make sure y'all turn up.
I'm with the shooters, out on that type of computer. I'm with the shooters, out on that type of computer.
Fresh about the stove, come and get it while it's hot. Little nigga, Mr. Bird, you was tweaking with a thigh. We done lost some pussy out the beating up the block. I'ma put this shit on gang, I be getting to the guap. Think you hotter than me, then that nigga off the rock. Why Keisha got these niggas really thinking they are ox? Hit them niggas up, got me feeling like I'm Pac. All these niggas pussy and they cherries getting popped. With a Glock 45, all them niggas getting shot. I'ma spin the block, nigga, I'ma spin the block. I'ma ditch the pill, let my man get a shot. Got these niggas switching up from a fan to a op. Niggas really hate that I'm the man on my block, nigga. I'ma stand tall, 100 grand on my block. Strip on fire, sedan on my block. Watching for the feds, it's a van on my block. Leave the motor running, yeah, yeah. Leave the motor running, yeah, yeah. Leave the the motor running, yeah. I can feel it when it's coming, I can see before it's coming, I can feel it when it's coming, Leave the motor running, yeah. Leave the motor running, yeah. I can feel it when it's coming, I can see before it's coming, I can feel it when it's coming,
Yeah. Let's get right into it. What we got coming out right now?
We ain't going back and forth about a duck. We ain't going back and forth about a duck. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking. Yeah. Can't even clear my throat, this me, you know what I'm saying? Or you can't beef with me, whole nother frequency, bitch, EOD, what the fuck is a muck? Nigga be fake, whoa, legal smuggling, he undercover, and fucking, we talking a minute. It's all in this stuff, nigga, fucking you saying, bird, bitch, you getting struck. We ain't going back and forth by the door. We ain't going back and forth by the door. Wash, halu, ella, ilaha, illallah. We come in the name of the source. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We flipping niggas off the porch. Niggas in Paris, somebody, yeah, J version, boss, on Jane Harden, but they think they the highest. We locking them up, you get caught with the smoke, get your flame dog. They shoot a shot, but I ain't far. This fuck around, hit the same target back to back. You can only respond with subliminals. Can't even flex, I got bigger muscle, bitch, I'm packing like flag stomach. Pussy nigga, this asshole. I'm a terrorist straight out the back like COVID, but you already know it, like a composition, why be black? Or you can't beef with me, whole nother frequency, bitch, EOD, what the fuck is a muck? Nigga be fake, whoa, legal snuggly, he undercover, and fucking, we talking a minute. It's all in this stuff, nigga, fucking you saying, bird, bitch, you getting struck. We ain't going back and forth by the door. We ain't going back and forth by the door. Wash, halu, ella, ilaha, illallah. We come in the name of the source. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We flipping niggas off the porch. Niggas in Paris, somebody, yeah, J version, boss, on Jane Harden, but they think they the highest. We locking them up, you get caught with the smoke, get your flame darkened. Wash, halu, ella, ilaha, illallah. We come in the name of the source. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We flipping niggas off the porch. Niggas in Paris, I'm somebody, yeah, J version, boss, on Jane Harden, but they think they the highest. We locking them up, you get caught with the smoke, get your flame darkened.
But I'm a soldier, I always survive. I'll constantly come back. You know what I mean? Only thing that can kill me is death. That's the only thing that'll ever stop me is death. And even then, my music will live forever.
Is on my side.
We got YK in the building, y'all. What we doing, YK? You ready?
What's good? I'm ready.
It's on my side. Yes, it is.
Yeah, man, let's get it. You ready?
Yes, sir. It's your brother YK, and I came in the name of the source. Peace for everybody who purchased this debate ticket. I'm glad you showed up. We here now. Let's get it.
Man, we got a fire one, man. Where is Ahanu? Uh-oh, I think I see him coming through the door.
Nigga, now he ain't a shooter. He didn't even die for shit, he did this for computers. This shit you let niggas do to you today, your ass a proof, bitch. Too high off them X pills, I'm in Pluto, I bet a future bitch. Crying now, when I get on your ass, ain't no crying now. Your man's died in been 3-4 days, he still ain't sliding now. Hurry up, get that kid back for that next nigga, get fired down. Catch the op, he think it's shaking time, he think it's dying down. Sad bond name like suicide, I see him dying now. Liberal on the corners, he won't move like he in timeout. Niggas bitches, they be pleading cases, let me find out. Find him out and meet him at the county when he signed out. Boom, let that Drake on him. Boom, let that Drake on him. Wait, I'm shaking out these pills, I think I'm fake on him. Man, what? I know what I bitch eat the cock. She gon' tell me where they at, you know how we gon' play the block. Shit pop out while they gambling, but you know I'm playing smart. I'ma wait till he hit this point, then I'ma sneak up by that cock. Remember that shit you said? Yeah. About my bro, he did. Yeah. You want chest ahead, but I won't face instead. Yeah. That's another. Yeah. Spot news. Headshots. All them killers shoot for free, ain't gotta pay them nothing. It's to the point I wink my eye, I ain't gotta tell them nothing. Where I'm from, we call 30 sticks, not dicks. I take that back, cause if he get caught, we gon' give it up in bands now. Who shot at me, they fans now. Snitches hanging with a snitch, we call that shit fed time. Got my glizzy and my Mac inside the pod. Oh, he think he crazy, phone him tweaking off the molly. Wanna act that jam, you know he down to catch a body. It's gonna be a shootout, for sure, ain't no problem. Let's get the roof off this motherfucker. He got a gun, he's scared to shoot in this motherfucker. Don't tell me what we cannot do inside this motherfucker. treat baby just like blood, but that's my mud, bro. Here we go. I be on my dick. 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 When I get on your ass, ain't no crying now. Your man's died, it been 3-4 days, you still ain't sliding now. Hurry up, get back for that next nigga, get tied down. Catch the op.
Yo, what we doing? We got a Ahanu in the building. What we doing, Ahanu?
I see him dying now.
How you feeling?
She won't move like he in timeout.
What we doing?
Baby pleading cases, let me find out.
Shout out to everybody in the building.
The county when he signed out.
We heard y'all. Let's get the energy right. Drop some fire emojis in the chat. Ahanu, can you hear me, my nigga? Mic check.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. You already know who this is. Your brother Ahanu Kiel, aka A1. Shout out, peace to all the guys and all the goddesses. Peace to the Tanchans, the Aborigines, the Indians, North and the Moors, North, South, Central, and the conjoining islands. You already know what time it is. I don't need no further interest. Let's get to it. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody who purchased this debate. I promise you I will. I put a lot of work into it, so it's not going to be a lightweight atmosphere. It's definitely going to be a heavyweight atmosphere. So peace to the gods and peace to the goddesses.
All right, my bad. I was talking over here on mute. God damn. But yeah, man, let's get it, man. Salute to the real. Salute to the real. Salute to the real. We here, y'all. We here. We here. We here. Shout out to the real ones that purchased the ticket. Shout out to the real ones in the building. Y'all already know the rules, moderators. Make sure y'all support the channel. Constantly promote these brothers and sisters that's up here that's debating. Let them know where they can find their channel. You know what I'm saying? This is where you can get your shit off. But we here and we came for the smoke. Now let me go into my sacred little bag and what we doing? We flipping. We flipping a coin. A1, call in the air.
Heads.
It's tails, my boy.
All right,
Okay, what you want to do?
yeah, let A1 go first.
All right. It's on YK said it's on you. We'll be right back. A1, get ready to pull your screen up. You got a 5-minute introduction. All right. And we're gonna get right to your rounds. Gonna get everything together. We'll be right back in 60 seconds, y'all. Let's go.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Is that feeling in your stomach? You can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it.
All right, man. Bottom of the first round. First round getting started off. Good luck to both of you gentlemen. May the best man win, man. Make sure y'all get y'all flow in, get comfortable. Get comfortable, both of you brothers. They in here for a good bout. So let's get it. A1, it's on you. You got the floor. The timer is set. You got a 5-minute introduction. And you can do it however you want. I'm gonna run it all concurrent. So you got a total of 20 minutes. Right? The rounds are 15-minute rounds, family.
All right, we're gonna get right into it.
All right, let's get it.
All right, we ready to go, man. My audio clear?
Yep, clear to me.
All right, so let's get with this, man. All right, so you already know what time it is, man. I don't need no further introduction. I've been talking this shit for a long time. I've been on YouTube for over 8 years, and I've been a more from day one. And just because my influence of what I understand of more is, I've never passed it on or never tried to influence the people. Only bring the people the information from what I've been researching thus far. You know, in the years I done got mad pushback from my own people. People went back and forth with me for years, and I always stood 10 toes down with what my research has led me to believe. Okay. So even after this so-called debate or massacre, right? You know, you free to be who you want to be, but the evidence is there that they call Indians Moors, and I'm going to prove it. So before we actually get into it, you already know what I like to do. It's saying a short history of fake history. Okay, it's saying fighting the truth is critical. Okay, it's saying the view of Reconstruction was a period of terrifying black domination and restoration of the rightful reaffirmation of the United States as a white man's country was prevalent throughout the nations from 1890. Now remember, 1890s until the early 1960s, nigga. Okay. It says the invention of history have always been an enormous, whatever. All right, impact of the lives at least 3 generations of Americans that, though diminished, continue down to the present. The most consequential telling of it is found in a D.W. Griffin 1915 film, Birth of a Nation. Now look, I'm just telling you what I see. Okay. Was anybody get mad or anybody like, oh no, A1, you making this up? This is done in 1915. Obviously, the image you see on the screen.
Your audio, hold on, I'm gonna pause your time. Your audio sounds horrible. Maybe we can get some fix and start being real staticky. Let's get a mic check.
Mic check.
It's still real staticky.
It's still real staticky.
Yeah.
Shit, what the fuck? Hold on. A second.
Do y'all hear the static on you guys' end, and is it interfering with you guys in the information that's been presented? If it's interfering and you can hear it, press 1. If it's okay, press 2. Y'all let me know in the chat. I'm gonna let you guys decide, and we're gonna move on. Press 1. They said no, he good. They said no, he good.
All right,
1, he's clear. 1, he's good.
All right, so the image right here, we can see the KK. Can you put? All right, we good, right? AP.
If they say you're good, you're good.
Okay, I need to know how much time I got because you just interrupted me.
You still got the same amount of time. You got 7 minutes and 36 seconds. I told you I was pausing the time.
All right, cool. All right, no, all right, so cool. So, all right, so as you can see, the image right here on the screen is of the Knights of Golden Circle or the KKK, right? And we can see that this is a white man in blackface, right? Now, in this footage, when they capture him and rip something out of his shirt, right? And what they rip out of his shirt, and I'm not just saying this, but this is done in 1915. This is 1915 film. This is the fucking feds right here. It's the feds. It's the feds. They capture him. They rip the feds out of his shirt and then they lynch him, right? So, you know, my perspective have always been from cross-referencing, right? All right. So, you know, cross-referencing, say within a document refers to the related information elsewhere in the same document. In both printed and online dictionaries, cross-references are important because they are from a network structures of relations existing between different parts of data. Okay. So the reason we cross-reference is to one source validates the other source. Okay. And the strength of the source validates a more weaker source. Okay. So as you can see, some of the sources may be from a credit, maybe from the Library of Congress, maybe from newspaper clippings, maybe from dictionaries, etc. But it's going to support the rest of the material that's being presented. All right. So you already know, according to what I just read about history being fake, then you know we have to put our Sherlock Holmes hats on, right, and become detectives. So in this case, we have to decipher the information. Okay. So it's a decipher to find the meaning of something that is difficult to read or understand. Decipher equals the code, a secret message. Okay, the secret message is what these people been hiding from us all this time. All right, so with that, no further ado, let's get into it. So I'm gonna get into a couple of different terminologies on what other historians and dictionaries are saying what the term Moor means. Okay, now from the top, the term Moor. The term Moor. Now I say Moro in Spanish, quotation Moro. Like I always say, the term Moor comes from Moro. Moro means dark. Okay, but however, we're going to see some deviations, right? It's they come from the Latin word morus. Okay, the term was literally used to refer to the population of North Africa, specifically to an area known by the Romans as Mauritania. This word to the Berbers, but not the Arab population, since they arrived centuries later in North Africa. The word Moor refers to any Muslim or dark-skinned person. I'm going to say it again. Now, I'm going to continue to say it. This is just one of the many sources that I'm going to be presenting, right? The word Moor refers to any Muslim or dark-skinned person, okay? More specifically, the term has been used to describe the region of Muslims in Spain and Europe of African descent in an alternative way. Although there are some distinctions between Blackamoor and Whitemoor, centuries later during the Renaissance, the word Moor and Blackamoor was used to describe anyone with dark skin. Okay, it said, if you're wondering, this term is repeatedly found in literature, art, and history books. However, it does not define a specific ethnicity or race. Keep that in mind. Okay, now as you can see, it says, are Muslims and Moors the same? All right, so it say the word Moor does not define a specific ethnicity or race, as he explained earlier. Here's some difference between Arab, Moors, and Muslims. All right, so Arab is a language. Okay, it's saying this term also describes the culture that developed in that language. Muslims are followers of Islam, and many Muslims are neither Arabs nor Moors. Okay, now I say, for example, we'll give you China, Indonesia, Central and Southern Africa. Islamists are Muslims who advocate the application of Islamic law in political life. The term Moor or Moorish is used to describe the greater Maghreb inhabitants of Liberia, Algeria, Morocco, etc. Right? We go here. We got another definition of the word Moor, right? So we go right here. It says in the Middle Ages, as late as the 17th century, the Moors were commonly supposed to be most likely black or very swarthy, though their existence of white Moors was recognized, and hence the word was often used for Negro. Okay, got the term Moor right here. We already know one dwelling in Barbary, according to them, but we're going to definitely get some clarity throughout this debate, right? But particular right here, after the period, like I always show people, being a dark people in relations to European, their name in the Middle Ages was a synonym for Negro. Okay, here we go. We got Negro, right? Meaning African American vernacular, the English language as spoken by U.S. blacks is from 1704. French Nagar is a 16th century borrowing from Spanish Negro. Older English words was Moor and Blackamoor. Okay, and just know that we already know that the term Negro was applied to us because you got Africans that's coming here in the 1900s that's being called Negroes, and they don't even know what the fuck it means. They're sitting up there like, well, I don't like this word Negro. All right, so Moorish, right? A lot of people say the ish is like, right? But it says Moorish, the adjective. It say of or pertaining to Moors. Okay. We already know what the ish is. We got another source right here. This is from the 100 Amazing Facts about the Negro, right? And just particular to go down right here. All right, it's saying black and covered like whites are, on the other hand, European words. Ethiopian and Moor was popularly used to describe the so-called blacks until 1500. Shakespeare uses Negro only once and uses it synonymously with Moor. Okay, we got Moreno, right? Now, Moreno is a derivative of Moor, right? We got Spanish, Portuguese, and Jewish Sephardic, nickname for someone with dark hair or swarthy complexion.
10 minutes. You're at the 10-minute marker, halfway through. 10 minutes.
Okay, dark brown or dark skin, dark hair, etc. Right? It says from Latin Morus or more. Okay. You got more right here, right? So we got, this is from the Britannica, right? It say the term, we're talking about the term more, right? It said that the term is of little use when describing the ethnic characteristic of any group, ancient or modern, from the Middle Age of the 17th century. However, Europeans depicted Moors as being black, swarthy, or tawny in skin. Okay? Got another source right here. This is from One World Charter. Shout out to the brother James Lee. It says, so Moorish has two meanings related to navigational skills, mariners, or dark-skinned people. Maroon, brownish, or even black people, right? So we got another source right here. This is from National Geographic's. All right, it's saying the idea Moors spread across Western Europe. Moors came to mean anyone who was Muslim or had dark skin. Occasionally, Europeans would distinguish between black Moors and white Moors. All right, on the next one, this is a whole totally different source right here. It said, where did the word Moor come from? It says about the term Moor, it is derived from the Greek word morus, which means dark skin or black. Okay. Another source right here, mortals, right? It's saying Mori. Okay. It says the name is derived from their black complexion. Then it say more black or more Negro. Then it says Zort. Zort is like swart, right? It says black or more, black or Negro, right? And some more images from Nature No Color Line. These are actually coats of arms right here, and you got swarts right here, and you see the feather crown with the so-called arrow. You see the arrows right here, right? And they calling them swarts, right? And this one I believe say swart men, and then it says more, right? It said translated, these names mean black or the black. It said when some Moors converted to Christianity, they took on Christian names, and their last name would be the black, like Kenneth the Black, the Moor, right? Followed the same thing. Let me see. It's another definition of the term moreno. It can mean dark skin. Okay, in Spain, Portugal, Brazil, and the Philippines, right? So just to cover this, so we can get some clarity on this. All right, a nigger, it said dark, and this is from the Oxford Dictionary, dark-skinned person of any origins in early U.S., usually with reference to American Indians. Okay, so we know that the American Indians, according to sources we got right here, it gives a description of what the American Indians looked like. So I'm gonna start right here saying they tread strong and clever and mostly walk with a lofty chin, of complexion black. Okay, this one says right here, it said, but from considering the peculiar circumstance under which a black race was found in North America. Okay, let's go to another source. Go to the source right here. He say, my second memoirs was on the Negroes or Black nations found in America before Columbus, wherein he proved the existence and connect. I didn't follow that one through, but the next source say it's saying either we have in certain parts of America skeleton remains of a type basically related to those found in them found also in Australia and Melanesia. It's saying, oh, we have a remarkable case of a parallelism. It said this certainly indicates the presence in the far past of Negro people in the American continent. Okay. One more source. This is talking about the California Indians. It talks about they tall, muscular, well-made, with a complexion varying from nearly black to light brown. Here's another source right here. There was the first and very large and very black Indians of an aspect very different from those who inhabit the interior of the country, the barbarians. Now they calling them barbarians right here. Here we go. It's saying of the coast are black. Okay. Now let's get into one of the first sources. This is from the Ancient American in the Notes of American Archaeology by John D. Baldwin. He states the term Moro, literally Moor, is commonly used when referring to the ancient Indians of the valley and the village. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hey, stop my clock for 1 second. Let me get stopped real right there. 1 second.
Go ahead. Peace and love to everybody in the building, man. He took a quick little break. We'll give him like another 30 seconds.
Hey, AP, they saying that the video is private. It just cut off.
Yeah, I know. A couple people text me too. I don't know what the hell happened. Seems like everybody in here on my end, it shows 42 people in here.
All right, well, y'all gonna have to press 1 if you guys still. I mean, we gotta get
hear us
in here.
If y'all can hear, press 1. Go ahead and go. I think we're good. Everybody's saying we're good now. It's back. They don't know what happened. I don't know what happened either. So hit the like button, you guys.
All right, so let's get back
to it. Let's get back into it. You got 4 minutes and 49 seconds. All
right, so once again, right, this is in Ancient America. It's in the Notes of American Archaeology by John D. Baldwin. He states the term Moro, literally Moor, is commonly used when referring to the ancient Indians of the valley and village. Then he further down, he says a Moro is a heathen. Now I get into the explanation of that. An unbaptized Indian. Okay, now here go the first source where they saying Indians are Moors. Okay, so let's continue. Let me skip past this. All right, here go the source. This is from, hold up. This is from the Descendant State Art Collections of 2013. This is the more on the emerald level. It goes down to say right here. Hold up, let me get it. You see, it's saying from the expansion since the 1723 in the Nansen Treasury Museum that really most original of all possible means of presentation, a sculpture of a Moor. The young, powerful man in dark brown lacquer pure wood, the associated border on a tray of tortoise shells present casual or smooth. The Colombian emerald level is not a resident of Africa, but an Indian. Although his facial features and skin color are a black African, the body tattoos exactly represent him, have as well as a native of Florida. They go another source. This is from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. This is the same source. This is the continuation of the source. Let's get into this right here. This is from the Amsterdam Pike Museum. It said Moor head with a feather headdress, right? Then as it goes down right here, it says this image bears a resemblance to that of Powhatan depicted by John Smith on the map of Virginia in 1608. Okay, we know what Powhatan looked like. They go images of what they say Powhatan looked like, and we have multiple other images to correlate with this, right? Some more images. Boom, let's get into the next source, right? This is another source, the Rokende Moor. Okay, let me see where the fuck I was at. All right, it says the logo of the Rokende Moor hung proudly on the clock facade of the company. Go down and say he has a bare torso, wears an indigenous headgear on his head. Okay, it's in an orange white striped cloth around his hips. Okay, so this is another source pretty much saying right here, right? So this is from the Christie's auctions, right? So this is another image of the Moor, right? It's saying with his dark skin and feather skirt, the particular cigar figure is variously referred to as a Blackamoor or Virginian. With the dark skin and feather skirt, the particular cigar store figure is variously referred to as a Blackamoor or Virginian. Now, whether or not you resonate with being called Moors, we have to figure out why the fuck they calling us Moors. Oh, it's because we got dark skin. Okay, let's continue. How much time I got, AP?
You have 1 minute.
I got 1 minute, so let's finish this out with it. There go another one. Blackamoor tobacco is trade sign. There go another one. Carved and painted Blackamoor tobacco is figure, right? There go another one. A couple of Moors in sculpture and polychrome wood, right? And it says a couple of Moors in sculpture and polychrome wood. It said a couple of Moors in sculpture and polychrome wood. It's saying swearing attitude. The man and the woman are dressed as Indians, wearing feathers and wearing a pearl necklace. Okay? They're not dressed as Indians. They are Indians. Okay? Another source translated from Dutch. This is a Dutch translation, and this is translated into English. And this is the Moor, the tobacco vinaigrette of the paper with a standing oval on the left, a seated Moor or Indian with a feather headdress and a public cloth smoking from a large pipe. Tobacco packages with boxes. Once again, the tobacco vinaigrette or paper with
Tom. Shout out to big brother A1, man. He doing this motherfucking thing. Came in with the heat. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. That was a fire round. Explosive. Shout out to brother YK. Let's get ready, brother. Let's get ready, man. Shout out to Ahanu, Kiel. Make sure y'all drop the fire emojis for these brothers. They putting on some heat. Brother YK, get ready to pull up your screen. We're gonna be right back in 60 seconds, family. We got brother YK coming up next, y'all. Let's go. Shout out to everybody in the building.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back. Got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. YK, we ready to get right into your round. You got 20 minutes. Let's get into it. You also, you got your 5-minute rebuttal plus your round, so it's add a total of 20 minutes.
Did I get my introduction?
Yeah, you get your introduction as well.
Appreciate it. So that was it. All right. So this is my introduction, right? Peace to everybody who purchased this debate. It's your brother YK the Truth. And the name of this debate is, are Moors indigenous to the Americas? Are Moors from the Americas? This debate is not called, did the Europeans call Indians Moors? This debate is not about Moors being a descriptive term. This is not the debate topic. In this debate, I will prove historically that Moors originated from North Africa and not the Americas. I repeat, not the Americas. I will prove that my opponent is a Johnny come lately. I don't say it to be disrespectful. I'm simply saying that he will choose the latter meaning for every definition or etymology he provides. This deceptive tactics make his argument the carbon copy and not the original. In this debate, I will prove beyond any doubt that my opponent is suffering from an identity crisis, and this is why he believes Moors are from America. He will repeat that he's cross-referencing, but every time he says that, you must understand that he is cherry-picking. I will provide many of his articles and show you that he left out information that goes against what he believes. You will bear witness to my opponent using numerous pictures, like he did, but fall short of the actual evidence. He will show you black Moors, but somehow act like black Moor doesn't mean black and black. It's kind of like Moorish American. If Moorish meant America, wouldn't it mean American? American? Remember that the burden of proof is on A1. He must prove that Moors are from America. I will show you that his arguments are not based on facts, but on a misunderstanding of history and a dire need to be a Moor. Why is A1 calling himself a Moor when Grandma said we had Indian in us? I will prove in this debate that the term Moor is a misnomer, just like the term Indian. So it doesn't prove that the indigenous people were Moors. That makes A1 a misnomer. I will prove that the indigenous people of America dislike being associated with the term Moor because Moors make them like being a Negro. My opponent thought I would take the MSTA approach, but every great fighter must make necessary adjustments. In this debate, I will give many examples and facts that show that the Indians were not the Moors. Therefore, Moors are not from America, and it's just a misnomer like the term Indian. In this debate, I will use many historical sources and primary documents. I will also use A1 to debunk A1. Anything you say can and will be used against you in this Aboriginal Power Debate League. Words from the horse's mouth are a primary source. So, of course, I will use it to my advantage. Don't hate, learn how to debate. Let's get it. Now,
you at 20 minutes.
Are Moors from America? Are Moors from America? See, we got to have a little entertainment in here. It can't be dry.
You niggas on y'all way out the door. You niggas on y'all way out the door. You done got your ass beat up by YK. You ought to be embarrassed. I'm going to start calling YK the Moor killer. YK over there killing fake American Moors. I'm going to call YK the Moorish killer, goddamn.
One more down, one more to go. Ahanu. You ready? Now, what is the meaning of the name Ahanu? Because it's not a Moor name. Why do A1 have a name that's not a Moor name? All right, that's the first giveaway. He said, so what is the name Ahanu? And we're going to put Algonquin to Moors. Let's see if there's a correlation. The name Ahanu is primarily a male name of Native American. I thought we don't rock with the Native Americans. Algonquin, origin, that means he laughed, right? It means he laughed, but it's not a Moorish name. Now, this is one of A1's favorite sources. All right. It's called the Algonquian Conquest of the Mediterranean, right? And let's see what it says here. Since he likes to be called an Algonquin, let's get it. It says, because they were civilized with many civilized settlements and produced an incredible amount of food from the richness of the farmland of that region, the Atlantean population certainly grew to the point where new settlements had to be planned and initiated to meet the needs of the fast-growing population of the African Algonquian people from North Africa. You got to hold that L. This is your source. This is not mine. This is also an illustration from 1585. And this is an Algonquian. This is what y'all doing. It says, why doesn't it say more? This was from 1585. So this couldn't have been a Mongoloid. Hold that first L. That's the first one. Now, he called himself Ahanu L. If you were, this is my thing. If you were Moor and you believe Moors come from America, why don't you have a Moorish identity? Why do you have a Hebrew identity? Now he calls himself El, a name of God in the Bible, Hebrew. It doesn't say nothing about a Moor. It says a God in the Bible. So if he wanted to take the route and say, well, El just mean God, why you couldn't find an Aboriginal Indian name for God? Why must it be an Arabic name? Why must it be a Hebrew name for your creator and not what your peoples called themselves and what they worship? Looks like a culture vulture to me. But watch his rebuttal to desperately try to bring Israel and Arabia to America. Don't the Autochthonous have a name for God? Very confused. Still nothing from a Moor. All right. He don't want to let go of the L, so now he must hold his L. Now he must hold his L. Right? Now peep this. Israelite, he claims he's an Israelite and he's a Moor. Now you're going to see how all of this falls into play. Watch this. Peep this.
Who are you? I just introduced myself. I'm saying, what are you? I'm a real life. Oh, okay. Shalom. Shalom and Islam to you, brother. All right.
So he said he was an Israelite and a Moor. I didn't hear a peep about being an Aboriginal Indian. He laughed, is confused. He wasn't trolling because he believes that the gods are punishing the Autochthonous, Hebrews, Moors, Egyptians, mess it, everybody. He's everybody, right? Now, Cat Williams said he doesn't know why liars lie.
Well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie, but I can tell you this. I don't know why liars lie.
How did you let that happen, bro? You the gods, you the elves, right?
Brother, the God taught us.
The elves, right?
I'm gonna tell you why. This is karma, right? The God taught us a lesson because we wasn't supposed to create people. Listen. We was supposed to create people and treat them the way we treated them. So this ain't nothing but karma. This ain't nothing but karma.
That sound like
this ain't nothing but karma.
That sounds like a Hebrew to me. So he said, man, I was trolling Sarnetta. But then you turned around and said, your God's is punishing you. Sounds like a Hebrew to me. Cat Williams said he doesn't know why liars lie. Well, let's tell why liars lie. Liars lie because they want it to be true. Finally, the liar might want their lie to be so true, so badly, that their desire and needs again overwhelm their instinct to tell the truth. Be the change you want to see in the world. Gandhi never actually said, but sometimes liars hope that they can make something come true by saying it over and over and by believing it as hard as they can. This is what they do, right? Now, I know y'all in the comment section like, yo, YK, What the hell does any of this got to do with the debate topic? Let me tell you why this is important to understand. It shows you that A1 is a tiptoe Moor. He still wants to be a Moorish American, but he knows the ideology takes him to Africa. He still claims the name L, but wants us to believe that it has nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America. Why does he think we are stupid? His tactic is to borrow a definition of God from Elohim, but we all know the real reason. It's to cover up the fact that in his mind, he's still a MSTA Moor. And this is why root words want A1 to drop that Moor. He still wants to hold on to the term Moor. But the only way he can be successful is by putting Moors to America, even though Moor is a misnomer. And that make A1 a misnomer. A1 is doing the same thing the Europeans did to your ancestors. He's misclassifying them. Now let's get to it. By claiming to be a Moor, you're also claiming to be a Negro, which means black-skinned African. Negro, member of a black-skinned race of Africa, from Spanish or Portuguese, Negro, black, Latin, Negrum, black, dark, sable. You see, he always say dark skin color. This is what he always say. Moor means dark skin. Negro does too. It says Old English were Moors and blackamoors, a middle word for Ethiopian, perhaps also a Negro. So you a Negro. Now, I'm pretty sure A1 is going to bring up this source right here. It's called An Accurate Description of America. And he actually believes that this person right here has dreads. Those are not dreads. Those are straight hair. But he shows you the cover of the book, but never do he actually go inside the book and read the book. See, we reading over here. This is not lookership over here. It says the Moors or Negroes, which are brought hither from Guinea. Guinea is Africa. It is not America. So you can't use this source no more, because in this very book, it's saying that Moors are Negroes from Africa. Hold that L, bruh. You need glasses if you think those are dreads. A1, you can never use this book again. Just remember, I took this from you. Hold this L, bruh. Hold it. Now, why does Ahanu never show you this picture in the same book? Sir Francis Drake was an English slave trader. I thought white people were the slaves. Why do I see an Indian crowning a European, making them equal? Right? Now, he's going to body himself in this. See, he thinks he's slick. He's going to tell you the latter meaning of the word Moor, right?
This is the real definition of what a Moor is. Dark-skinned people in relations to the European.
So he skipped all of this just to go here, but it says also. Also means you cannot leave out the first one. That means you're a
10 minutes. 10 minutes. You're at the halfway mark, bro.
Got you. That means you're a Johnny come lately, because you're not rocking with the first definition. No, you got to go to the end. When we all know the end is called what it's called because of the beginning, because of the people that they thought from the beginning. So you got to hold that L. Just because you like a person don't mean you have to throw your integrity away. Be honest with yourselves. It don't make any sense, bro. It don't make any sense. Blackamoor, dark-skinned person, black-skinned African. So he showed you all of those blackamoors. Just know that the etymology is dark-skinned African, black-skinned African. Right? Now, this is going to be a body. Why are we even having this debate?
All right, so your question is, for me, is how am I a Moor? Because I'm not telling nobody else they're Moor. I'm just telling you I'm a Moor. I can understand what that term means. Just like I can understand what colored, Negro, African American, black, etc. mean. See, it's no difference. There's no difference.
It's no different. If it's no different, why are you not calling yourself a Negro? Why are you not saying, yo, I'm A1, I'm a Negro, or I'm A1, I'm the African American? You know why? Because Moor gives you that history of Moors conquering Spain. See, he don't want to let that go. This is why they desperately trying to bring Africa to America. They're trying to bring Egypt to America. Like your ancestors didn't know how to be indigenous with an outside force. You doing worse than the white man, brother. The history of Algiers, the Moor, who were the original inhabitants of the kingdom of Algiers, are mixed with the descendants of ancient Africans. A complete history of the piratical states of Barbary. This is from 1750. This is from people of West Africa. The Moors are the largest ethnic group in Mauritania. They are mixed Berber, Arab, and Black African descent. Most Moors speak Arabic. So if you want to say, well, the Indians are the Moors, what language did they speak? Because the Moors had a language. They spoke Arabic. Historically, the Moors were a nomadic people. In recent years, however, many become settled. So we know that, right? Now, there are probably about 1,500,000 Moors. There are two main Moor groups, the Bidanis or white Moors, who are the Berber Arab origin, and the Sudanis, who are largely of Black Moors, Black African origins, and are related to the Fulani, Saniki, Tokula, Wolof, and other peoples. So that lets you know that Moor is deeper than just a color, because you got white Moors. You got white Moors. You were born by misnomer.
You better be there.
It's up.
You better be there.
I bet you won't be a Moor no more.
I do. I promise you. I'm
You're gonna be a misnomer.
Listen,
if you were born by misnomer.
Listen.
You a misnomer.
I promise you. Listen. Listen.
I told you it do hit different. Now let's get it. A misnomer. Let's put this thing to bed right now, right? What is a misnomer? What are some of the other words for misnomer? Wrong name, miscalling, misnaming, mislabeling, pseudonym, mistitling, mistake, inaccurate name. This is what you are. It says, let's get to it. These are the sources right here. It says, North African, the term Moor itself, insofar as it was a term of racial description, it could refer quite specifically. See, we want something that specifically to the Berber Arab people of the part of North Africa, rather than rather vaguely denominated as Morocco, Mauritania, or Barbary. Or it can be used to embrace the inhabitants of the North African littoral. Or it might be extended to Africans generally, whether white, Black, or tawny Moors. Now listen, or by an even more promiscuous. What does promiscuous means? It means confusedly, indiscriminately, without order, disorderly. So it's wrong. Just because they called them that don't mean they were that. Let me repeat it. Just because they called them that doesn't mean they were that. They called them a lot of things. Or by an even more promiscuous extension, it might be applied like Indian, because it's wrong, to almost any dark-skinned people in the new world. See, that's what you fail to realize. It doesn't mean that it don't make them a Moor. It's a history behind this.
You understand how old this continent is, right? And a lot of people, they don't understand that shit. They don't understand that the culture is coming from here. And with that being said, right,
you got 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes, YK. 4 minutes.
more.
All right, 4 minutes.
You understand how old this continent is, right? And a lot of people, they don't understand that shit. They don't understand that the culture is coming from here. And with that being said, right, I ain't even going to say more as a descriptive term no more, right? I'm going to say more is the original fucking people of this motherfucking material world. I ain't even going to say more as a descriptive term no more, right? I'm going to say more is the original fucking people of this motherfucking material world.
A few moments later.
Whether we call it Asia, we call it Earth, we call it whatever, or whatever continent that we are dwelling on, or we inhabiting, or we man. Wow, man. We're you understand?
So 1 minute more is a descriptive term. The next minute is it's not a descriptive term. You confused. Now, this Apache man will be a Moor because he has dark skin. But look at his hair. Is he the original person? Hold that out. Would you mind somebody calling you a darkie? A darkie because it's a word for people that's black or brown. So you could take that too, right? Now, this is from J.D. Forbes, Native American. I might have to rush this through because I know my time is getting limited. It says, all of these latter developments, which collectively make it difficult for persons of Native descent to maintain a meaningful and specific ethnic identity, are to be regarded as disadvantages. To become simply a brown person with no specific history, no heritage, and no tribal identity around which pride can develop is to expose oneself to the worst possible kind of existence in a society which still, for all ideas, rank people on a color basis and places great emphasis upon ancestry. So by calling yourself brown, you're giving all of this up. You don't get nothing being brown, bro. So if you don't get nothing being brown, why do you call yourself a Moor, bro? You basically saying, well, I'm just dark skinned, bro. Why? It don't hold no weight. That's one of the reasons why the Moors got that name, is to take them away from being a Negro and being a black. So why would you turn right back around and call yourself a dark-skinned person? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. I really want to hold all this right here for my next round. And I'm only on 30 slides. You feel me? My dude on 60, he done ran through 60 slides. It's gonna be a long night. I'm gonna forfeit that time, AP.
You got 60 seconds left.
I'm good, bro.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We just got through the first round, fire ass round for YK, man. That was some fire ass shit, bro. Salute to you. Shout out to what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Hey, we get into the second round, y'all. Drop them fire emojis in the building. Turn up, turn up, turn up. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Turn up in the chat. I want to see y'all getting active in the chat. Y'all let me know who y'all got winning that round. You can put A1 or YK. 2 initials. It'll get it in. You understand what I'm saying? A1, let's get ready to get into your second round. Get ready to get your screen ready. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that's fake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. Yeah, the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it.
Shout out to everybody in the building. A1, are you ready, brother? Let's get it in.
Yo.
Yes, let's get it.
All right, so let me just hold on. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm not even going. Hold up. I do need to share my screen. He started off the round talking about Ahanu is not a Moorish name, right? See, the problem is with a lot of people, they don't listen, right? I clearly told you in an opening statement, right? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, AP?
Yeah, go. Your time started.
Okay. I clearly told you in the opening statement, right? It says the word Moor and Blackamoor was used to describe anyone dark-skinned. If you're wondering, is this term is repeatedly found in literature, art, and history books. However, it does not define a specific ethnicity or race. So now he's asking me, why did I choose an Algonquin name? Or why did I choose Ahanu? Ahanu is not a Moor name, okay? It clearly tells you that Moor is not limited to Muslim. And this is what I've been saying the whole time, but YK or Mr. Kalu or Yarden, he stuck on some YouTube playing. I'm not up here to play games. I don't have no recordings of you. All I got is straight information. So them Mickey Mouse sources that you presented, oh, you wasted your whole first round talking about nothing. Oh, I'm confused. I don't understand. Well, why would you call yourself a Moor? You pulled up the common literature that we all know. But I'm showing you literature that you're not showing. So obviously, I just showed 8 sources on what the word Moor means. So you came with the commonly used topic, right? And you have to think about this, right? If Moors originally, right, meant Muslim, right? Why would they apply it on any dark-skinned person? That's generalizing. You got dark-skinned people on every fucking continent of the planet. Why would it go from being a Muslim to being any dark-skinned complexion person? Because you know why? Because it was around before the Muslims was here, okay? And the Muslims originally were dark-skinned. And this is just a time gap where they trying to equate Moors of being Muslim. But no, Moors are not just restricted to Muslim. So you said something else. Whatever you said, it was some amateur night shit. Let's get back into the build, man. It was some amateur night shit. Just trust and believe that. Everything you said, you wasted your whole first round talking about nothing, brother. Give yourself a fucking hand, bro. Now, where was we at? We was right here when I stopped, right?
That's your profanity.
Okay, my bad, AP. We was right here, right? I'm showing you actual images that is in the Amsterdam Pipe Museum, okay? The description of this was written in Dutch. I had to translate it to English, okay? This is the English version of it, right? So this says, let me see, where was we at? All right, the Smoking Moor, right? It says in the center, an Indian sitting on a bell smoking a pipe with a feather headdress on his head and dressed in a skirt of tobacco leaves. The Smoking Moor. Why are they calling them Moors and Indians simultaneously? Okay, that's something you need to figure out, YK or Mr. Kalu. You need to figure that shit out. I already know what it is, and I'm showing and proving right now. Okay, here's another Dutch Amsterdam Pipe Museum actual image, right? And this is the Rokende Moor. Once again, it's written in Dutch. They go the translation of it in English. The translation says, the paper cigar pouch printed in blue ink with the smoking more. At the top, still wisp of smoke. In the center of standing pipe, smoking Indian with a feather headdress and on his head and dressed in a skirt of tobacco leaf. Now look, I know what y'all saying. Oh, A1 showing the same one. No, this is a different one right here. This is actually, let's see. It's actually the sixth one I'm in on thus far, right? So let's get back into it. All right, so we was right here. So here go another one. This is another image, the Rokende Moor, Amsterdam Pipe Museum, right? It says the paper cigar pouch printed in black this time with the crowned Moor in the shape of an arch at the top of the center, a smoking Indian with a feather headdress on his head and dressed in a skirt of tobacco leaves. On either side of the Indian, a palm tree. The crown Moor, okay? On any side of the Indian, a palm tree. So you have to ask yourself, why are they calling people who not from North Africa, right? YK? Because you just said from Algeria, right? They're not from Algeria. They know they're in America. So why would they be calling American Indian Moors if Moors originated in North Africa? Okay, let's continue. This is another one. The Rokende Moor. The paper cigar pouch printed in blue ink this time. The smoking Moor. In the shape of the arch at the top in the center, the Indian with a feather headdress on his head and dressed in a skirt of tobacco leaves. So why are they calling American Indians Moor? Okay, let's go to something else right here. This is 1990 Census and Population and Housing, the U.S. Department of Commerce, Economics and Statistics, the Administration Bureau of Statistics, right? Now, this was something I just happened to find. And shout out to my brother who actually updated me with the source, right? And these are a list of an American Indian tribes. And do you see one of the American Indian tribes? It says Moor. Okay, it says Moor. Now, this is the 1990 Census and Population and Housing, the U.S. Department of Commerce, Economic and Statistics Administration, the Bureau of Statistics of Census from 1993. All right, this is a Canadian newspaper article from the early 1900s, right? So it said Thandi arrived safe in Quebec with Judy and his children, and then off threads into the woods to try to get a bit of land to settle on. Some Irish neighbors helped him to get a cabin to shelter his family. And he says to one, where do them Blackamoor nigger Indians live? Now they calling people Blackamoor, nigger, and Indian all in the same fucking sentence. Now, once again, where do them Blackamoor, nigger, Indians live that I've heard about in our country? Okay, they go another source for you. This is from the a newspaper article from the Virginia in the mid 1800s, right? Hold up. Let me see something. All right, this is another article from it right here, right? So this says the highest judicial tribunal in the land has decided that the Blackamoors called by the extreme public courtesy the colored population are not citizens of the United States. Okay? It said a decision must follow by the other decisions an individual state themselves. Negro suffrage must, of course, be abolished everywhere. Okay? Once again, the highest judicial tribunal in the land has decided that the Blackamoors called by the extreme public courtesy the colored population are not citizens of the United States. Okay, it's another, you could say this is a Mickey Mouse source, but there's something that kind of correlates with it, right? And this is from a book called The Crescent Obscured, the United States and Muslim World from 1776-1815 by Robert J. Allison, right? It said the 17th century Dutch, right? Of course, right? Dutch or German portrait of a Moorish king could just as easily be an American ruler, American Indian ruler. Sorry about that, right? Got another source right here. This is from Ancient and Modern Bricks by David McRitchie, right?
10 minutes, halfway marker, 10 minutes.
All right. He says in 1676, the native races of New England were spoken of indifferently as Indians and Moors. And our British Indians are also remembered as Moors. Okay. Go to the next part of it, right? It says in 1681, the Indians of New England or Moors, as they were also styled by the settler, were pronounced by William Penn to be as black as gypsies. Once again, and in 1681, the Indians of New England or Moors, the Indians of New England or Moors, right? As they were also styled by the settlers, were pronounced by William Penn to be as black as gypsies. Okay, I take a strike on this source right here because he don't have actual sources in it, but it all correlates with what we're talking about. So this is called cross-referencing, right? This is from my brother. The 103 amazing facts about the black Indians of the Western Hemisphere, right? And he goes into it. The term Moor was applied to dark skin, brown skin, and reddish brown skin people who were not only indigenous to Europe, but West and North Africans. Even black Indians of the Western Hemisphere was dubbed with this title. Okay, let's continue. This is from 2016 Delaware Code, Title 29, State Government, Chapter 1, Judicial and Sovereignty, on 101, Lenape Indian Tribes of Delaware recognition, right? So this right here says the tribe can date their ancestry ties as far as the early 1700s. It's saying the tribe was formerly known as Moors, and for many decades of the 20th century, documents such as driver license designated the tribe race with an M. Okay, check this out, right? It said the Smithsonian Institute issued an annual report of 1948 in which the tribe was referred to as Moors of Kent County, Delaware, as identifying as surviving Indian groups of the eastern United States. Okay, going to another source right here. Now check this one out. This is how they double down, right? The Delaware Moors, right? It said there have been so much speculation about the so-called Moors living in Kent and Sussex County, Delaware. These people are usually swarthy, black hair and black eyes, though sometimes of fair complexion. You already know why, right? It's saying they are mostly farmers. They have their own schools, distinct from the general public school systems, and their associates neither with white or black people, right? It's saying one of the theories. Now look, one of the theories has been that they are the Moorish race and that their ancestors were Spanish Moors wrecked on the coast, right? It's saying more than a century ago. Now listen to this. Other traditions represent them as descendants of the Nanacoke Indians. Okay, so let's go on to something real quick. He mentioned Algonquin, right? This is from the Harvard University. All right, this is the ancient Arabic script and vocabulary of the Algonquin Indians, right? And this is informed. Let's see something. It said while examining Algonquin material in the Peabody Museum, the collection at Harvard University, my attention was drawn by Mr. Joseph Germano. It says in the two old Birchbrook manuscripts labeled as Cree origins, carrying two horizontal lines of a script letter in black. The script, I can't read, my bad. That shit's small as hell, man. My bad. But however it go, the whole purpose of this Arabic script was to show you the relations of the Algonquin so-called language and the Arabic and the original Arabic form, which is right here, right? This is another source which he just said that the Algonquins was from West Africa, right? or North Africa, right? So listen to this, right? It said, all right, so it said the story of Atlantis does suggest in a way the first Atlanteans probably showed up in the Mediterranean Sea region long before 11,500 years ago. When the first Algonquin arrived in present location of Western Europe, it may have been possible that North Africa was settled by Algonquins first. Let's continue. See, we don't need to go into all the other places that they say that we went, right? We can just keep it moving, right? So let's continue. Let's keep it moving.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna throw this in there because I say the rest for my next round. But American Indians wore turbans. All right, saying the turban was a style or hair cover favored by many Southeast Indian tribes who were located in the states of Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. It's saying the Southeast tribes who wore a turban include the 5 civilized tribes, notably the Muskogee and the Iroquois. Also, the southeastern tribes such as the Ute and the Natchez. Osceola wore an ostrich feather in his head on his turban of varied colored cotton swab. And this is by George Catlin, right? Billy Bowlegs is saying there was a turban womb of red swab summoned with a white feather encircled with a silver band. Okay, it said Billy Bowlegs on his head wore a kind of turban enclosed with a broad silver band and surmounted by a profusion of black ostrich feathers. Okay, so just to show you, there goes some images right here, and this is also, it says a large painted wood figure of a black Amur or Indian, nigga. Whether or not they called us, the Indians are indigenous here. They call us Moors, so Moors will be indigenous too, as they applying that terminology to dark-skinned people. Because Indians would be Moors at this point in time. Whether people agree with it or they disagree with it. Just like an Indian would be an African American, right? An African American could say he's Indian, right? A Negro could say he's Indian, right? A black can say he's Indian, right? A color can say he's Indian, right? They don't throw away none of the terms. All of the terms that was used to describe the Indians or Negroes or Aboriginal people here, people still resonate towards. They use black when it's convenient. They use color when it's convenient. They use African American when it's convenient, right? But let's continue. They go more. They go to Tim McCohen's. They got turbans on. And this is Florida region. They go Indian of Peru with a turban on, with a feather at the top. They go a Seminole with a turban on, with a feather at the top. They go another Rokinde smoking Amur or smoking Indian with a turban on, with a feather on the top. They go one of the chinchilla mummies from Peru with a fucking turban over their locks. Okay? They go some more images. American Indians. This is illustrations. This is I forgot my man's name right here. I can't think of his name right here. The Florida Negro War. You got a turban on. This is supposed to be Billy Bowlegs. He also got a turban on. The Mayans have a turban on, right? How much time I got left, AP?
You got 1 minute and 45 seconds.
All right, okay. Let me get through this real quick. All right, this is the book Morocco as It Is, and it talks about, in this book, it talks about the Sultan of America and that they send in other people around the world different gifts, such as animals, such as elephants and other exotic animals, right? This is another article right here talk about the Senate of Tenochtitlan land. Now, when you say the Senate, that would be like different different chiefs, not just one sultan, right? It would be like many sultans. Like when you see many chiefs, like there's many chiefs of one tribe, right? But check this out, right? It goes and it's saying many historical documents, right? We talk about the Sultanate of Tenochtitlan. If you know what Tenochtitlan, that is where Montezuma was one of the so-called leaders of Tenochtitlan, right? The images of what Tenochtitlan look like, right? So more images, more images. I'll get back into this my next round. I'll leave it right there and we can keep it moving from there.
You got 19 seconds left, brother. We're going to forfeit the rest of that time. Shout out to A1.
Yeah. Let's keep it moving.
Fire round, y'all. Fire round, man. Make sure y'all tap in. We about to get ready to get into YK's second round. YK, get ready to get your screen ready, brother. That was the time right there. That's the time. We're going to restart that and get that going. Shout out to everybody in the building. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. Go ahead, YK. Let's get it in, y'all. Second round.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back. Got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, snake you in your face, love. Yeah, snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it.
Shout out to everybody in the building. We got YK coming up right now. Let's get right into it, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building. Your time is ready. You got a 5-minute rebuttal plus your 15-minute round. All right. Drop them fire emojis in the chat if y'all can hear me, and let's get it, YK.
All right. So I keep telling the brother that more is a misnomer. This debate is not that the Europeans call Indians black or more. Hold on. Let me. It's about more proving that Moors are from America, right? So let me get to it. I'm going to prove that Indians and Moors are not the same. What better way than to do it by going to the actual law? Section 1 of the Negro Rights and Disability, the Act of 1740, declares all Negroes and Indians in amity with this government, Negroes, mulattoes, mestizos. Now let's go down to Section 4. The term Negro is confined to slave Africans, the ancient Berbers, and their descendants. It does not embrace the free inhabitants of Africa, such as the Egyptians, Moors, or the Negroes. So clearly, you see the word Moor right here, and you see the word Indian right there. Why didn't they just call them a Moor up there in the first section? Because Indians and Moors are not the same. Let's go to Section 63. The act does not extend to free American Indians, free Moors, or Lascars, or other colored subjects. So clearly, let me blow it up. So, you know, this is what you call a source. Free American Indians, free Moors. It's not the same. Now let's go to the Winthrop Papers. of 1889. Now, this is going to see, I'm coming with daggers, bro. I'm coming to take your head off, right? Because you consider yourself an Algonquin, right? Now, the Narragansett Indians are Moors. I mean, not Moors, excuse me. The Narragansett are Algonquins. A Narragansett is part of the Algonquin people. Now, in August 1645, Emmanuel Downing, brother-in-law of Governor Winthrop, suggested a solution to the Massachusetts labor shortage. He encouraged Winthrop to wage war against the Narragansett Indians. They called it a just war in order to gain indigenous captives to exchange for enslaved Africans, who he referred to as Moors. Let me repeat it. Enslaved Africans, who he referred to as Moors. For I do not see how we can thrive until we get into a stock of slaves sufficient to do all our business. And we shall maintain 20 Moors cheaper than one English servant. So why they didn't just call the Narragansett Indians the Algonquins? Why they didn't just call them Moors? Because they know who the Moors is, right? It's Africans. They go to Algonquin tribes. And if you look down here, it clearly says that Narragansett, right? Now, this is what a source look like. I'm tired of seeing pictures, bro. Anybody can pull up a picture. Read, bro. Now, it says this is from the history of travel into Virginia. Their hair is black, gross, long, and thick. The men have no beards. Their noses are broad, flat, and full at the end. Great big lips and wide mouths. Yet nothing so unsightly as the Moors, Indians. This is the history and travel of Virginia. So they making a clear distinction that the Moors are African. All right? Hold that L. Now let's go to the first slaves arrived in Massachusetts, right? Now it says right here, the first mention of a black person in a colony dates from 1633. Now, this is where I keep telling y'all, it's a misnomer. All right, it's not about the white people called the Indians, Moors. It's about, are they Moors? Can they claim that history? Can they claim the history of the Moors? No, they can't. Who were worse than hurt when they came upon a black man in the woods. They sought help from a local farmer who finding him to be a poor, wandering black Moor, a black man. All right, now let's read down, because this is going to show you that the Indians are not those people. Checkmate. It is possible that this man was not a slave, but an indentured servant. And in any case, it seems clear from the Indians' reaction. So if the black man was the blackamoor, who was the Indian? Why they didn't call him a Moor? Hold on. Now, I beat you to this picture right here. A lot of stuff you had to leave out because you know that I did my homework. And that's why I wanted you to go first. Now, let's read right here. This is from the book you love to read. Thus, they enjoyed the benefit. It says John, the first king of Portugal, who took from the Moors by force of arms, Sept Sophia, an African city. So in your own book, right? Now let's go to John D. Forbes, Africans and Native Americans. Here's a testimony from Maria D. Valhena, and it clearly says, in her testament, 2 Indians, a white, a brown, a black, a mulatto, and 2 Moors. If Moors was brown, why they said brown and then turned right around and said 2 Moors? Checkmate. Now, you brought up the Nanacoke community of Delaware, right? Now, let's talk about those people. This is from the Nanacoke community of Delaware, 1950s, 1916. I did my homework, brother. Now, let's read what it says about those people. It says, in the Indian River, there lived a community of people, many of whom are the fair Caucasian type, called Indians or Moors. Ooh, it said fair Caucasian type, called Indians or Moors. They are now quite generally dispersed throughout the state, especially in Kent and Sussex counties. Their origin is unknown, but according to local tradition, they are the descendants of some Moorish sailors who were cast ashore many years ago in a shipwreck. Their own tradition is that they descended from an Irish mother and a Negro father. The Lenape and their descendants. Hold that, bro. I just took your head off, right? Even your own, now, even his own source says that Moors is a mistitling. It's misleading.
Entered Kent County Moors. Appeared in the Times of Philadelphia and John Sanders of the Chesswall community. In interview, in an article, he indicates that commonly use the term Moor. Now they try to say it's misleading. It's saying, now look, they saying we Indians. They saying we Indians.
You got 10 minutes. 10 minutes, halfway marker. 10 minutes.
All right. So his own source, Lenape tribe timeline. All right. Because I told you I'm going to be A1 up with A1 in my introduction. It says May 19th, article entitled Kent County Moors appears in the Times of Philadelphia, and John Sanders of Chesswall community is interviewed. In the article, he indicates that the commonly used term Moor is misleading. Sanders states we are Indians. So they knew who they were, bro. You are doing what the white man is doing. You're misclassifying those American Indians, those Aboriginals, by giving them the term Moor. If you're going to be a Moor, be a Moor. If you're going to be an Aboriginal, be an Aboriginal. But y'all niggas got to stop trying to play both sides of the fence. We see you. We see you. However, a new educated generation began to demand that Indians be properly classified. The realization dawned on them that no matter what white people called them, A1, because that's what the white people, they calling them that. Your ancestors didn't call themselves that. Called them Moors, yellow people, mulattoes, and so on. Their ancestors were Lenapes, Nanacotes, or both. Despite accusations of racial admixture, which occurred among practically all the Eastern Indian tribes during the colonial period, members of the new and enlightened generation were fully aware that their native roots were deep into American soil, and ethnically they were Indian, not Moors. And this is from the Nanacoke Indians. This is from 1948. Indians hated being associated with Moors. This is real sources. When the Nanacoke Indian descendants learned of this legal interpretation, they were both indignant and angry. It meant that they were to be taxed as Negroes and their children compelled to attend black schools. Furthermore, the Nanacotes resented being racially associated with Moors. Even though the Moors had Indian increments, their social status was questioned by those who considered themselves true Indians, and this is from the Nanacoast Indians. Now you brought up the Lenape. Well, I'm gonna say that because I don't want to lose the crowd right now. Now let's get right here. This is from the same book that you love to use. Moreover, that the country was inhabited by 200 Spaniards, as many more mulattoes and Moors. Okay, and it shows you when you go down that they speak of Indians. So they knew these people names. They didn't have to call them a Moor if they know what an Indian is. You don't want to be called an Indian, but you'll call yourself a Moor. Make it make sense. They are both wrong. The debate is over. Let me take that away. That's the second round knockout. Now let's go to another source. And it says, among the Jews, we did not learn that they had any law, nor can they be called Moors nor Jews, worse than pagans. So this is from Vespucci. So there were no Moors. I brought this up in the last debate. I told you I was going to use only a few. Even Refugee said that, right? Now let's go to, he brought up the Moros, right? And the term Moros and all of that. In fact, the term Moro is a Spanish term for Moors, referring to the Muslims who ruled the Iberian Peninsula. All right. So you got to take that history. You're not taking that history. Now, how many people in the chat, grandmothers told them that they had Moorish Indian in their aunts and their family? Press 1 if your grandmothers told you this. Press 1 if your grandmother told you you was a Moor. Now, this is from my brother Root Words, a.k.a. the River God. I know you in here, brother, who thought A1 was going to win this. Now, watch me work. You know, you like Latin, so let's use the Latin dictionary. The term Moor, Mauritania, the inhabitants of Mauritania, Moorish, African. I don't see nothing about America. Where? I see Numidia. Now, this is Maori. This is Latin. I see African. Nothing about America. Now, see, he said, I ain't going to play no slides, but you have to play slides because the worst thing a liar hates to see is themselves telling a lie, right? Now, A1 thinks Aboriginals are afraid to debate being Aboriginal. This proves he doesn't believe you guys are the same as him.
So the only person who talk about white people would say were Moors. That's it. I ain't never hear nothing. The Aborigines or Indians, in some cases, they can't even figure out what their culture is because they're so busy trying to be Native Americans. They ain't gonna do that. Pick and choose what the base they take. They pick and choose what the base they take. I don't even see a lot of niggas even take debates on other things. I ain't even see a lot of people take a debate like that against a Pan-African.
Who you think as a Pan-African would be good in that run? Because you know, hey, not a coincidence, family tree, his shit up the point. Hey, YK shit too. They got good family tree games. You know what I'm saying?
Salute to my brother Lucky. But you see, if he really believed that Moors and Aboriginals were the same thing, why does he keep speaking like they're separate? Now let's get back to it. Berbers and Blacks. This is from Berbers and Blacks, 1927. Furthermore, America, and let me just pause that. Hopefully that clip would encourage Aboriginals to actually debate being Aboriginals. But salute to y'all. America is not fully intelligible until one has seen Barbary. The life of the larger part of the New World is full of arts, institutions, in terms of speech that have been brought from Africa by way of Spain. Now, this is Negro land map, right? Now, A1 is going to try probably his next round because I got this shit all mapped out, right? My third round is going to debunk his last round and all that. So he's going to probably pull out this map. A1
3 minutes.
Cool. A1 tries to desperately put Barbary in America by using this map. How can you be a teacher and not know that Barbarous means uncivilized. At that time, those Indians were considered uncivilized. Now, here's the etymology of barbarous: uncivilized, uncultured, ignorant, strange, foreign. It has nothing to do with being from Barbary. They're not saying that they're from Barbary. They're just saying that they look at them as barbarians. If you don't believe me, let's go to the book called Turks, Moors, and Englishmen, An Age of Discovery, right? And it clearly says that, it says right here, that the Barbary of the Muslims legitimate the hope of dominating them. Britons categorized the Muslims as barbaric, even though the Britons had not dominated them. Perhaps even because of it, the Muslims were doomed to authority, whether they were conquered as the American Indians or not. The disuse of barbaric is not, however, difficult to explain. Just as the association with barbarity degenerated the American Indians in the discourse of the New World. So yes, they called them barbarians, but they're not saying that they're from Barbary. Stop trying to use this map, bro. Don't bring it up. Let that be another slide that you skip, because you skipped like 20 of them. So I know you running out of ammo. And I'm like, what, on my 40th slide, bro? 56 and I got 100 more? No, you gonna run out. Now, I want to debunk something real. How much time I got left?
60 seconds.
Never mind. I'm gonna say that. Damn, I ain't even gonna be. I wish these rounds would have been 30, bro. I came to work today. But all right, bro. I'm a forfeit that time. I'm just gonna try to speed it up, bro. I ain't even make it halfway through. This shit crazy. Sheesh. All right. I'm gonna render that, but I got a lot more for next round, bro. I just wish it would have been 30 minutes. Go ahead.
All right, you got 28 seconds left. We're gonna get ready to get into it. That is the end of the second round, y'all. We going into the third, y'all. We going into the third. What we doing? What we doing? Put them threes in the chat. Put them threes in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all enough time to go get something to drink, use the restroom, get y'all something to snack on. We'll be right back in a couple minutes, family. We're going to the third and final round.
Let it all work out. 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 Work out. Yeah. I'm in this bitch. Yeah. Was on the outside looking in this bitch, but now I'm in this bitch. Yeah. I'm in this bitch. Tunchi, you a genius. Looked in the mirror, said, don't let the money come between us. I'm loaded at my earliest convenience. Well, fuck 'em. I feel like I got 10 middle fingers. I'm sipping in this bitch and popping uppers. Gotta take this that shit that give a flower color. And some bitch named Wonder Woman told me not to wonder. The crumbs, you only see them when the cookie crumble. Real shit, nigga, my candle still lit. Had to swallow my pride though. Swear it tastes like spearmint. Big up to my nigga with the strap on him. I never turn my back on him. Cause nigga act like they cool with you. But a lot of these niggas be transformers. A lot of these players be bench swamps. The game ain't easy, but it's fair, nigga. I'ma sit in this throne so long till it's a fucking rock and chill, nigga. Bad bitch playing my hair, nigga. She said relax to him, baby, don't stress out. But I got a lot of shit on my mind, though. She say let that shit work itself out. Let that shit work itself out. C5. Yeah. Back in this bitch. Told you left this bitch. Like you knew this bitch was gonna let your ass back in this bitch. Yeah. But ain't nobody else like you in this bitch. Ain't nobody else like you in this bitch. See, the you a psychic. Cause you said there'll be days like this. They want a piece of me, I ain't the one that's serving slices. Please swallow. I had my share of dirty diapers, real shit. Pussy niggas on that guilt trip. It'll be on in a heartbeat. You can hit on pussy nigga shit skip. I fear God, never fear men. Give back, never give in. Beat eyes, never beat women. Keep an open mind, let them peek in it. Reach highs, never reach limits. Need minds, I don't need plenty. This C5, this for BI and left eye and T-Buys. When I seen Chili at a Floyd fight, I almost asked her to creep with me. But I was young and I held my tongue. But with that tongue, I just keep spitting, so it all worked out. And now I'm in this bitch. And life said to him, you knew me for way too long. I never changed, you know I've been this bitch. And then she said, don't you, you a monster. Looked in the mirror, but you wasn't there. I couldn't find you. I'm looking for that big old smile full of diamonds. Instead, I found this letter you ain't finished writing. It read, I'm sorry for even apologizing. I tried compromising and went kamikaze. I found my mama's pistol where she always had it. I cried, put it to my head and thought about it. Nobody was home to stop me, so I called my auntie. Hung up, then put the gun up to my heart and pondered. Too much was on my conscience to be smart about it. Too torn apart about it. I ain't where my heart was pounding. I shot it and I woke up with blood all around me. It's mine. I didn't die, but as I was dying, God came to my side and we talked about it. He sold me another life and he made a profit. Yeah, and he said, yeah, I'm still in this bitch.
Shout out to everybody in the motherfucking building, man. Shout out to everybody that supporters of the Bay League, man. It's your brother Big Aboriginal Power. We got a fire one right here.
But he said, remember this.
We about to get in the third round, man. Drop them fire emojis, man. We're going to get right into it. Drop them fire emojis. Hey, let's get ready to get your screen ready. You ready to get it in? Shout out to my brother. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. It's your brother Big Aboriginal Power, man. We're going to rock this thing on out, man. Why y'all ain't flooding this chat out with fire emojis? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all even hear the contestants? I need y'all to flood this out. What y'all doing? Eating boogers? Taking a shit? Get y'all little shitty ass up out that toilet and hit the like button. Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Let's rock this thing on out. A1 is ready to go. This is Big Aboriginal Power Debate League. And like I said, man, we got a heat one for y'all right now. We got Ahanu and YK going head to head. Fire rounds from both of these brothers. We getting into the third. And right now we got Ahanu. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, man. Peace. All right. Let's get into debunking some of the shit he said. Okay. All right. He first went into the Lenape, right? What I'm showing you right here, this is from a law site. This is a 2016 Delaware Code Title 29 State Government Chapter. Okay, so in this so-called chapter, it's saying the tribe can date their ancestry ties as far as the early 1700s. It says the tribe was formerly known as the Moors, and for many decades of the 20th century, state documents such as driver license, it says had the tribe race with M on it. Okay, now he showed you talking about, oh, they didn't want to be called Moors, but in this document right here, it's telling you that obviously they didn't have no problem with it if they let it ride that long. So the Smithsonian Institute, it said issue an annual report in 1948 in which the tribe was referred to as the Moors of Kent County, Delaware. It's saying identifying as the surviving Indian group of the eastern United States, right? Now, in the same article I just showed you, right? It says there has been so much speculation about the so-called Moors living in Kent and Sussex County. It said Delaware, these people are usual swarthy, black hair and black eyes, though sometimes of a fair complexion. They are mostly farmers. They have their own school distinct from the general public school system, and they associate neither with whites or blacks. It's saying one theory has been that they are of the Moorish race and that their ancestors were Spanish Moors. Now I say one theory. Now I'm saying another tradition represents them as descendants of the Nanacho Indian. Now, one thing you have to understand this, right? What's key what they saying in here? They saying, first of all, they not citizens. It's saying they are mostly farmers. They own their own schools, distinct from the general public school system. So if it says they do not associate with whites. So how the fuck is whites giving them a terminology? Obviously, they had to take the terminology on for themselves because they don't even have no contact with them. They ain't even fucking with them like that. They don't go to their schools. They ain't how are they adhering to what they being called when they ain't even learning nothing from them? They don't even go to their schools. Now, you said something else, right? Let's get into this real quick. You said something else, man, because I got a lot of shit to go through in a little bit of time. All right, so as we know, American History 101, when you're dealing with Aborigine, we all know what the Intercattera is, right? It says, was a papal bull issued by Pope Alexander VI on May 4th, 1493, which grants the Catholic monarch, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, all the lands to the west and south of the pole to pole lines, the 10 legions west and south and any island, whatever, right? It said, among other works, the well-pleasing to the divine majesty cherish of our heart. This is surely ranked the highest, that in our times, especially the Catholic faith and the Christian religion, be exalted and be everywhere, increased and spread, that the health of souls the health of souls be cared for, and that the barbarous nations be overthrown and brought to the faith itself. Okay, that's why when I read this right here, it's telling you a Moro is a heathen. A heathen is just anyone. A heathen would be a barbarian or barbarian, according to them. According to them, anyone who did not submit to Christianity will be a barbar or be a heathen, right? But in this actual title, it's telling you the term Moro, literally Moor, is commonly used when referring to the ancient Indians of the valley and the village. A Moro is an heathen, an unbaptized Indian. Okay, now he showed something else real quick that was interesting, right? I don't even know if he looked at his site, yo. You so busy, YK, trying to debunk me, you ain't even looking at your sources, right? So you went into, you went into barbarian, right? So this Barbary, right? So it's a foreign lands, especially non-Christian lands, foreign countries from barbarous, strange, foreign. See, barbarian. It says the meaning, the Saracen nations, right? Now I say on the coastal of North Africa, right? Now check this out. Let's go to barbarian. It's saying in reference to classical history, a non-Roman or non-Greek. It says a non-Christian. Okay? It's a non-Roman, non-Greek person, non-Christian. Okay? So if you was a non-Christian, you was what? You was strange. You was ignorant. Right? All right. So he said, what else you said? You said something else of interest. Hold up. Let's show the map. Since you want to see the map so bad. Because I really wasn't going to show it, but fuck it. Why not, right? So this is from a book called The History of the United States by Charles Kendall Adams and William T. Trent, right? So you see right here, it says the distribution of the barbarous tribes east of the Mississippi, right? And this is actually the description. It's a Native American family and group in North America east of the Mississippi River. It said the map shows Florida, Muskogee, and Southern Indian families with Seminole groups predominantly in the peninsula of Florida, and the Creek and the Choctaw group in the Panhandle region of the state. Right? It said a key distribution of the barbarous tribes east of the Mississippi, the physical, political, the statistical, physical features, local, judicial boundaries, inland waters, ocean, etc. All right, and this is actually the map actually out of this book right here, The History of the United States. Right. All right, so let's get back into it, man. All right, just give me a second. Let me find where I was at. All right, so before I was right here, right? So I was reading from this right here, right? So it says, let me see something. Let me go. All right, say, however, they soon learned, was it at an American consulate, that the Sultan of America was about to send the Sultan of Mali, Hassan, an animal so large that an elephant was seen in comparison to him, but as an insignificant insect. Now, the key point why I'm reading this is, right, it's so much shit that they was calling us, or they had these titles and terms for us over here that these people rewritten out of history. Unfortunately, Mr. Kalu, his first mistake is not even understanding that Negroes was in America. That's the first thing, because he's reading sources about Indians with straight hair, white people, and we already know that's not even right and exact. We also know that wasn't no white people coming here doing nothing, because all of the 13 colonies was ran by niggas. All the 13 colonies ran by niggas. So if white people is writing any of this, they're writing it from the time of Reconstruction, like I read earlier in the beginning of the debate, right? So let's get into this, right? And I'm gonna show you some other variations to how they connecting on Sam Monte Juma. They thought he was Muslim and all this other stuff, right? We're gonna get into it, right? So I said many historical documents, right? They talking about Tenochtitlan. I talk about Tenochtitlan all the time, right? I showed you Tenochtitlan, right? This is the outskirts of Tenochtitlan, right? This is what Tenochtitlan looked like today, right? And if you see the buildings look very familiar, okay? If you see the buildings, right? It's the outskirts of it. Some more images. Boom. Let's get back into this, right? So, all right. It said many historical documents was a Muslim kingdom and a colony state of the Al-Andalusian Empire, based on where modern day Mexico City is based. It also covers the area of Lake Titicaca. Now, Lake Titicaca is in Peru. Well, it extends from Peru in the valley of Mexico near the Isthmus between Central and South America. The Sultanate was found by Al-Andalusia conquistador, as well as Spanish Mexicans and native Mesoamericans convert to Islam and fought against the Spanish conquistadors against their own Catholic counterparts for control of Mexico City and Tenochtitlan. Okay, so these are some other sources, right? So let's hold up. How much time I got left, AP?
You got 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
All right. I'm not even gonna go through this right here. Let's go to. Matter of fact, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? I can run through this real quick. All right. So I always show the Corbel arches, right? The Corbel arches, Mesoamerican, North American, Southwest culture, right? It said the Corbel arches made by settling layers of brace or stone, each row and projecting further inward into a vertical line of the wall below until they meet at the center, right? So this is what an image of what a Corbel arch looked like. This is one of the original ones they found, right? This is what later on, after we became proficient at it, these are the different variations of the Corbel arch, right? Which started in America, by the way. That's why I just read the source, right? Look, it's another image of the Corbel arch. The one on the right there, the one on the left is from Paris. This is in Paris. This is in Prospect Park, New York. It's the same fucking thing. They just put statues on it, right? So, Central Park. This is the Central Park. This is this. I'm my bad. I always get this shit wrong. But this is a terrace in Central Park. And I know many people who've been in Central Park and seen this before, right? They don't know how old this shit is. This Plaza Ipana in Sevilla, right? Same type of structure, right? More Corbel arches, right? All right, this is from a source I got, right? This is from Old World Tartarians, right? It says, all right, it says, since the Moors was the Tartarians, according to the Gothic architecture all over the world, but mainly in America. This means that the modern day Europeans did not build any of the Greco-Roman and Gothic structures, Old World America, because a previous advanced American civilizations, they say called the Moors, okay? Or Indians, it also say Indians too, right? So some images of what Greco-Roman looked like. These some Greco-Roman structures that was found in America. This is the St. Louis World Fair, more Greco-Roman structures. And these are the Gothic structures right here. This is actually in one of these is a school. No, matter of fact, I'm sorry. This is the school right here. These are cathedrals now. Okay. Now they saying these structures been here. Okay. All right, let's continue. All right, so more shit connecting of them saying so-called Moors was in Mexico, etc. Right. So this is a speech of Mr. Stevenson of Georgia on the subject of the Mexican War, delivered in the House of Representatives of the United States, June 16, April 1846. Right. And they go to states right here. It says the stupendous deserts between the nuances and the Bravo, the Rio Grande, or Del Norte rivers are the natural boundaries between the Anglo-Saxon and the Mauritanian races. There ends the Valley of the West. There Mexico begins. Thence, beyond the Bravo, begin the Moorish people and their Indian associates. Now here, they saying the Indians are the associates. But from my understanding, they talk about the mestizos. They talking about mestizos at this point in time. Now, it can be confusing. If you want to say that Mexico belongs to the Moors, then that's something that we have to come to further understanding, because we find in other connections that saying similar things. So Montezuma headdress. This is from Zatella Natal. This is standard of headdress from the Peabody Museum. This was in the Peabody Museum. It says, hold up. It said the term Moorish as here can be, it can be regarded as a deceptive one, in as much as Montezuma, the king of the 10th.
You got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
All right. And Mexico, it says subsequently designed as a Moorish king in the same inventory of 1596. And I say, see page 9. It is interesting to note the gradual changes that occur in the wording of the subsequent periodical official registration of this Moorish hat. In 1613, its descriptions was faithfully reproduced. In 1621, the word Indian was substituted for Moorish. Now they talking about this. They talking about the same images. We see Montezuma. This is it on the right here. More images. They called it a Moorish hat. A1 didn't call it that. And then they changed it to an Indian Act in 1621. Okay? They got more images of it, right? All right, so let me get right here. So this is Aisha Khan. She's a professor at NYU Arts and Science. And her studies is Atlantic Studies on race and ethnicity, colonialism, race capitalism, Islam in the Caribbean. Now listen to this. This is a video. I actually got a video for it. All right, hold up. Tell me if you can hear this, AP.
North African Muslims. The Spanish in particular had a involving almost 8 centuries of Iberian, North African, and sub-Saharan contact and interdependence to the New World. The Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived in Mexico in 1519 and referred to the Aztecs he encountered as Moors. And one as Moors. Aztecs he encountered as Moors. And referred to the Aztecs he encountered as Moors. And referred to the Aztecs he encountered as Moors. And one
You done with your round? A1. I don't know if something wrong with my mic. Hello? YK, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
I don't know what the hell going on. I stepped away to get something to drink. You still got 2 minutes left. A1, what's going on?
Damn, bro, that's the longest 9 minutes of my life.
Nigga, you put your timer up when I tell you the time then, nigga. What is y'all talking about? I got timers right here, homeboy. Y'all ass is tweaking. We got timers right here on the screen. Then counting down, same timer, old boy. Can't make it go off. I think A1 had internet issues, so I'm gonna pause that time. Hello?
Yo, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. I don't even know how long you were out.
Somebody gotta give me a count where I was at. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Oh shit, me neither, bro. I stepped away to get something to drink. Just pick it up where you at, and I'm gonna play whatever time we got left.
All right,
we got a couple minutes left.
Hold up. Can somebody in the chat room tell me the last thing I was saying before I got kicked out?
Oh shit. Yeah, just pick up somewhere.
You said 3 minutes.
Waiting on you to screen share whenever you get a chance.
Oh, I was playing a video. Okay, all right. AP, stay with me, bro, because I don't know, something is fucking every time I share the video. Okay, I was showing the video. All right, so all right, so I guess we good.
They said after
so
your
let me
video,
know.
Said after you play the video.
Good.
Included Iberian and North African Muslims.
Can you hear that? Yo.
Yeah, I heard it.
You heard it? Okay, all right. I'm gonna mute my mic and no matter of fact, before I do that, I don't know if I got dropped off, but I'm a this is the young lady I'm playing right here. Her name is Aisha Khan. She's a professor at NYU Arts and Studies. I think I read she does with Atlantic Studies, race and ethnicity, colonialism, racial capitalism, Islam in the Caribbean, etc. Right? So this is a video. I just clipped it.
Who included Iberian, North African Muslims. The Spanish in particular had a broad range of acquaintance with Islam, involving almost 8 centuries of Iberian, North African, and sub-Saharan contact and interdependence. They brought some of these ways of knowing Islam with them to the New World. The Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived in Mexico in 1519 and referred to the Aztecs he encountered as Moors. Mexico in 1519 and referred to the Aztecs he encountered as Moors. Mexico in 1519 and referred to the Aztecs he encountered.
Man, this shit kicked him off again. I don't know what the hell going on. That's time anyway, shit. You only got like 47 seconds left. So we're gonna spin back around in 60 seconds, man. We'll be right back, man. You only got 47 seconds left, A1, when you went out. I don't know what the hell wrong with that video you keep trying to
I don't even, man, that shit just, I don't know what the fuck going on, yo.
You got 47 seconds. You want to yield or keep going?
Man, I'm gonna have to yield, bro, because I couldn't even complete it.
All right.
I'd waste my 47 seconds saying, yo, I don't know what's going on. I had more slides. I was playing the video the whole time. I thought I was sharing it. And when I came back, I was kicked out of StreamYard. So I don't know what the fuck going on. But sorry about that, peoples. Y'all already know what time it is or whatever. So hopefully, you know, I showed and proved what I had to show and prove. I'm gonna build the rest of my time. Peace to guys, peace to goddesses, man.
Shout out to A1, fire third round. We got the third round coming up for the brother YK.
Did you hear
his third?
AP, did you hear any of the video?
Yeah, we heard it. It's like when you ended it, you went out or some shit.
Okay, all right, okay.
All right, let's get right into it. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back, got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. Too much fake love, that snake you in your face, love. Your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. Yeah, the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God wrote it. See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no.
Damn, I don't know why the fuck that shit kept going. They tweaking. All right, YK, you ready to go, man? Third round, man. Close this thing on out.
I'm ready to finish.
Round, let's go.
I'm ready to finish him. Here come the Here come the fatality. What? How much time I got?
You got 20 minutes. You got a 5-minute rebuttal plus your 15-minute round.
All right. So A1 is going to admit that he doesn't know where the Negroes or Moors come from. Hold this L, bro. This is going to be bad for you.
So this is the article that goes with this particular statue or the image of what they saying. Now they already clarified that it was Negroes in them islands before Columbus got it. Whether you want to call them Africans, that's a whole nother argument. We don't know where they came from. Whether you want to call them Africans, that's a whole nother argument. We don't know where they came from. Right? So
now, so he admits that he don't know where they came from. Now, when this article in the beginning of this video, he showed a black or more, right? And then he gave you the fake source for it. He didn't show you the real source where they spoke of this Moor. He gave you a fake source that said that black or more was Indian. Remember that emerald statue, that emerald cluster? Pay attention.
This is what a Timber Cohen looked like.
That statue is not an Indian. Stop repeating this. It seems like no matter how many times we pull your card, you still say the same shit. Let's play the video.
This is an image of what the Timber Cohens look like.
That is a black or more. That is the
in this particular article, let me see, I'm going to try to find an exact part that I'm looking for.
Let me play that back. Listen, y'all.
Try to find an exact part that I'm looking for.
I got to find the exact part that I'm looking for. You know what part he was looking for? If he was looking for the part where it said something about the Moor being an Indian, but it's not going to say that because this is the real source, not the fake source that he always used.
So he's not a resident of Africa, but a what?
Right, but see, now they're going to go on.
What? Hold on. What?
Bro, but Indian. There's a fake source where it says he's a brown Moor, but he's an Indian. That's the fake source. It's not a resident of Africa, but an Indian. Although facial features and skin color are a black African, but the body tattoos, ethnological exactly represented, have him as well as a native of Florida. All of this is pseudo. All right? All of this is, none of this is mentioned on the real source. Somebody fabricated this. This is the real source. See, he's going to realize that he never had the real source. And this is why he's not going to read anything. Pay attention.
Well, actually, you know what? But it's in another article. I'm not even going. Well, actually, you know what? But it's in another article.
This is the real source, and nothing in this source says he was an Indian.
Got him. Hold that L, bro. Stop showing a fake source. Now, let's talk about the blackamoors, right? That are from Africa. Objects with feature representations of African figures and postures of servitude were common features in British houses and gardens of the 17th and 18th centuries. This article focuses on the three such stands in the National Trust collections of Ham House, Knoll, and Durham Park, right? It says the design of these objects. This article dissects the development of the decorative category of the blackamoor. It argues that by exploring the language used to describe these figurative pieces of furniture, the manner in which they were displayed, and the materials from which they were made, we get a greater understanding. But it says right here, through the normalization of black servitude. So they use these images of servitude. As you can see, they're always holding something. You always see them carrying something. If you look on this sister's hand right here, legs, she got chains on. This image is from 1680 to 1700. And why does this blackamoor has chains on her legs? See, he laughs and cherry picks words and pictures. He cherry picks words and pictures. Now, this is a sundial from the National Trust. As you can see, another blackamoor holding something. So this is what blackamoors represented. Now, this is the real source. All right. So what is a blackamoor? A blackamoor is a dark-skinned person, black-skinned African. You got to hold that L. Now, he spoke about the Rakende Moors. This is an advertisement. Did A1 show you this one? I don't see no feathers on her. Now you got to hold this L, yet another one. So are Moors just some smoking black people? You got to do better. You find an advertising, and that's not even in America. That's not even from America. These are advertisements in Europe. This is an advertisement, and this is why the elephant is there. It's not meant to be literal because this is in Europe, not America. Hold that L. First, I took the Moor with the emerald, and now this. I don't want to hear any more about you talking about a Rakende Moor. Moors are just some smokers. Now, this is what we do. I got 13 minutes left, right? Now, you admitted that those pictures.
13 minutes, yep.
You admitted that these pictures are fantasy. So stop showing them.
The total observation, I don't concur with. I don't concur with the total observation. A lot of these images are a lot of this shit is fantasy. You see a lot of these pictures, they fantasy. Ain't no white people come here and find us because the white people was brought over here and put on plantations, my dude.
It's fantasy. So if it's fantasy, stop showing the damn pictures. Right? Blackamoors. Now, this is where you body yourself because you love using the cigars, right? You love using the cigars. Now, if you read this etymology, it says blackamoors and other dark-skinned foreigners. So that means they are not from here. Foreigners have also possessed considerable attractions as signs for tobacconists and sometimes also for public houses. Negroes with feathered headdresses and kilts, smoking pipes are to be seen outside the shops on the continent as well as England. Now, let's talk about the smoking pipe because you know what? I'm going to say that. Now, you want to talk about the Indians and how they were, about smoking because European carvers have never seen a Native American. In Europe, there were tobacco shops in Europe first. So a lot of those images that you see are from Europe. Then later on in the 18th century, you started to see those smoke shops with the real Indians. Look it up. This is a source, the Milwaukee Journal of March 17, 1968. It said, because European carvers have never seen a Native American, these early cigar store Indians look more like Africans with feathered headdresses and other fanciful exotic features. All right. This is from another book. As tobacco shops began popping up throughout Europe, the merchants wanted to use symbols that would represent the Native Americans from whom they received the tobacco. However, a small number of statues credited to 17th century European carvers portrayed African people. The vanishing American. It says right here, the blackamoor or the black boy. So when we start talking about blackamoors, we know that we're talking about Africa. Now, Let's get to the Montezuma and the headdress, right? This headdress is also called the Pinacho of Montezuma. Montezuma's headdress was first mentioned in European inventory in 1596 when it was acquired by Austrian Archduke Ferdinand von Tyrell. It was listed there as a Moorish hat. It was likely an object sent from Mesoamerica to Europe by Hernan Cortez. Now, here's the thing, right? This is how you're gonna have to hold that L, right? Because if you look at it, it's just a legend. Let me read it to you. The legend that the Vienna feather headdress is the refound crown of Montezuma has been almost extirpable. That means incapable of being exterminated, right? For decades, the story was spread unchecked. The conqueror of Mexico, Cortez, had given it to the Spanish monarch. Now, listen to what it says. It says, this is a mistake. The Archduke was not born until 1529, right? Now, it gets even deeper. Look what it says right here. Investigations of the art of collection in Upper Swabia of Count Ulrich, who died in 1574, had revealed that the headdress was bought in 1590 by Archduke Ferdinand of Tyrol for a lump sum of 7,500 florins. Now read this. It was included in the item all sorts of Moorish equipment of feather work. This is in Europe. So they mixed up these things. Now let's get to it. Let's get to the Moors. Now this is going to debody that Montezuma, right? The Indian battle hammer was described in 1596 as an object belonging to a Moorish king. Excuse me. 3 of the feather work objects, a Moorish hat, a Moorish skirt, and a Moorish plum, shared this strange attribution. The apparent intention was to make it clear that the objects did not originate in Turkey or India, but rather that the provenance of Indian Mexican, just as Moorish hat could refer to a Mexican headdress, the term Moorish could mean overseas or exotic. Once again, we're dealing with misnomers. Misnomers. This is why they changed their hat back and they changed it into Indian. If you read the source right here, it says in 1613, its description was faithfully reproduced. In 1621, the word Indian was substituted for Moor. This is in the 1858-1950 book, because they knew it was just a misnomer. All right. The term Moorish could mean overseas or exotic. In German, Indians were still being referred to as Moors. Once again, it's the white man that's misclassifying these people. That's why I keep saying misnomer. You a misnomer, bruh. You let the white man tell you who you are. When your people said they was Indians and they was Aboriginals, you want to come and dilute their history. Is the white man telling the truth or is the white man lying? You can't have your cake and eat it too. It seems pointless to try to attribute the objects, as has so often been the case, right, to the treasuries of Montezuma's. Few museums in the world have the good fortune to possess such treasures from Mexico. Now, I got to skip to that because I got more stuff that I got to address. So that was all a hoax.
That's what they said. The discourse is about the ancient Lemurian bloodlines of the Ahanu.
All right, he didn't even bring up the Amaru. You lucky for that, because I was going to tear that up with your white, your white people who brought that up. So let's get to the stuff that you did bring up. You lucky, bro. All right. So my question for A1 is, well, he won't be able to answer it. He ran out of time. Did you spring from the soil or did you come out of the water? Pick one, because you can't have both. Sounds like evolution to me. Check it out.
Nigar, which I told you, Nigar go back in the Sumerian text, brother, meaning copper color rustic people, meaning those that came out of the water and walked on land, and they became rustic and became brown once the air hit them. Do we not understand this?
The Lord, you didn't live to see her son as a mermaid. Merman. And when it comes to mermen and the world of mer people.
So I don't want to hear you talking about, man, we sprung from the soil, we the Autochthonous. No, you come out the water, bro. That's how y'all got y'all copper. How many Aboriginals in here believe that their people came out of the water? It sounds like a hoax. It sounds, how many of your people came out the water? Now let's talk about Autochthonous, because none of this stuff is more. None of this. You can't practice Greek and Sumerian mythology at the same time. You let Dr. York's book get to you. Did you spring from the soil, or did you come out of the water? What did your people call themselves before 1640? I promise you, the day you lost Amaruka to YK the Truth, the day you had to realize
3 minutes and 40 seconds. 3 minutes and
the day you had to realize you were missed no more. A more by misnomer. A misnomer is crazy. It's crazy. Autochthonous is Greek mythology. How come you don't use Algonquin myth to explain your origins? Are you a Greek or Aboriginal? It do hit different. You want to talk about my name, mean studies, Congo. Well, we ain't gonna get into that because I don't want to get into that. Now, this is what I'm gonna end it, right? Because Othello is about Moors. It's about Moorish. It's about identity. When I think of A1, I think of Othello. He hated himself. He was everything. He created an identity. I encourage y'all to read this and get up on Othello.
Stand up.
All right, get up on that.
It's credit.
All right, now let's go to the Washitals, because A1, I'm just trying to get everything out because I'm running out of time and I got a lot of slides. A1 believes he's a Washita. We of African descent had discovered that Afro-American, both Vespucci and Columbus, were the Johnny-come-latelys. We were Moorish in the Africa called Moorish. This is what the sister said.
We had that flag.
All right. Showing pictures without a reference is Mickey Mouse scholarship, Penn interest scholarship. You had to do better. I would say like 99% of your slides was pictures, bro. Now, here goes another source that I'm gonna kill you with that lets you know that Moor and Indian are not the same. It says, thus, north of the Great River Senegal, the complexion changes from black to brown among the Moors, as it does toward the south among the Kafirs and the Hottentots. And I am opinion that the woolly texture of the hair is a derived effect from the very same cause. So you can see that Negroes and Moors are the same. Now, let's get to it. I got to run through this. Destruction of Civilization by Chancellor Williams. Now, just who were the Moors? The answer is very easy. The original Moors, like the original Egyptians, were Black Africans, right? Now, this is from the Crescent and French Crusaders. Before mounting to the Imperial, a French captain of 4 sisters in charity, an Arab, 2 Moors, and an American. I'm trying to read fast. 2 Moors and an American, so you can see Moors and American are not the same. Many of the Moors broken by Moors and reason in the Arabs. So many sources. The word Moor signified a black man, and the people who were called Moors were the North African ancestors of the dark brown and brown black golden age of the Moors. History of the Gibraltar. Moors and Berbers, natives of the opposite coast of Africa. So much, man. My opponent fails to realize that Moorish people were in America at that time. Remember, he brought up the Rio Grande. So Moorish people were in America at that time.
Stop everybody in the building. Uh-oh. We about to get ready to wrap this thing up. A1 does have a 5-minute rebuttal. We're going to let them get in that. Then we get into the 15-minute question and answer round. A1, you want to get ready to pull that up and get into your 5-minute rebuttal? We'll be right back in 60 seconds, y'all. Let's go. Well, 30 seconds. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
See, my life has been in motion. I'm a little windy. I'm not giving up yet. If you with me, time to place up your bet. Ain't no turning back. Got niggas who ran. When we caught his ass, got caught in that jam. Yeah, you know who I am. Yeah, you know who I am. I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. It's that feeling in your stomach, you can feel it coming. Yeah, you can feel it coming. Fake love, that snake you in your face, love. That snake you in your face, love. I told my brothers we gon' make it, that's how God wrote it. And the snake gon' show his face, cause that's how God.
All right, let's get right into it, man. We got Ahanu Key L getting into his rebuttal round. Let's go. You ready? You got your screen ready to go?
Yes, sir. Let's get it. He said a lot, man. He said a lot, but I'm gonna start with this first. He ended off by saying that Moors and Negroes are the same. Besides all that funny shit and all the replays of videos and all this other shit, you prove nothing. You prove nothing. And we're gonna get into what you didn't prove. So yeah, I did have the Washingtons up here. And let's get into this right here, right? So this is the United Nations. This is the Commission of Human Rights, the Subcommission of Prevention of Discrimination to Protect Minorities, 48th session, agenda item 14, discrimination against indigenous people. Okay, and this is the Washington Didog Manya, the oldest indigenous people on earth, right? So this is actually, well, hold up. Let me see something. No, let me go right here. This one. All right, hold up. No, it's this one. My bad. All right, boom. So it says there's a document in the National Archives in Washington, D.C. It's saying elsewhere that confirmed that the Washington Moors present right here in North America land thousands of years before the arrival of the first European, and their advanced civilization identified them as the ancient ones, the mound builders, and their prior claim to the land was never disputed. Okay, now this is, you know, they had the this is actually Return of the Ancient Ones. This is actually the land document that they actually sent to the Division Administration, State Land Office, and these are the acres. Right now, initially it was, I think it was. Hold up, let me go back to the top. I think it was 1 million acres. How much time I got left, right? Well, anyway, let me go back to the top right here.
2 minutes and 45 seconds.
All right, so when he went here, when he tried to debunk Zatella Natala, right? This is from the Peabody Museum. This is ancient Mexico, okay? Historic on relics. Now, this is from her book. Hold up. This is from her book. This is what they say. Now, you saying that they made the correction. No, they made the correction to change the whole terminology. They don't even call Aztecs and Olmecs fucking Indians, bro. They don't even call them Indians. Okay? It says the term Moorish as a reply may be a deceptive one in as much as Montezuma is the king of Mexico and is subsequently designed as the Moorish king in the same inventory in 1596. It is interesting to note the gradual changes that occur in the word of the subsequent empirical official records of this Moorish hat. In 1613, description was faithfully reproduced. In 1621, the word Indian was substituted for Moorish, with the single alteration of the original text was again transcribed in 17, I think that's 30, I don't know, it might be 30 or 80. Okay, however it go, right? So that's to clear that up right there. He don't have no sources of nothing saying any that this shit is coming from Europe. This book is from the Peabody Museum. Everything she got, these are actual artifacts and records that they had stored. Okay, you said something about the so-called you said something about this right here, right? Now, this is from an actual museum. Now there's 3 articles on it. It's this one by Henry Nickel, and it's this one right here. And this is by Baltimore Persmer. This is his sculpture, and William Kruger, right? So there's 3 different articles on it. Okay. And this article is the one that's from the fucking museum. It said the Distant State Art Collection. Okay, so this is actually from a museum. And this is the one that's saying it has him as a native of Florida, right? You said one more other thing, right? You was talking about this, right? This don't say nothing about no Africans, my dude. In fact, this one right here says this is from the Christie auction. And this says, with the dark skin feather skirt, the particular cigar figure is referred to as a Blackmore or Virginian. Virginian. We ain't talking about it. All right, we good.
Shout out to everybody in the building. This was one of them ones, man. We just now coming off Ahanu Key L's fire round. We about to get into the question and answering round, family. We about to get into the question and answering round. We got 15 minutes for the question and answering round. And we're gonna hit this thing hard and let's get it going, y'all. Let's go.
Welcome to the Bat League. This is the Aboriginal Power Debate League, where all knowledge is being tested. Calling out all Aboriginals, calling out all Pan-Africans, all Hebrews, all Moors, all Indians. Come step in the ring and put your information on the table. Bat League.
I buzz the fuck up. What are Aborigines at up in here, man? Do your homework on AP. Asking where the Aborigines at, bro. Do his deal. Y'all know my song. Turn me up. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hanu, you get 2 questions to ask Brother YK, and then we're gonna go back and forth just like that in that same manner for the next 10 minutes. For the last 5, I'll let y'all have an open dialogue back and forth. All right.
So question number 1. YK.
Yeah, y'all can keep your mics unmuted for this one.
I hear you, bro.
All right. So was there so-called black people in America before 1492? As far as when we say the Indians, you don't subscribe to black people being here already, right?
That's not the topic, bro.
I'm asking you a question. That's my question I want to ask.
Yeah, I'll pass. I'll pass. You got a topic that's about the debate?
You'll pass on the question?
Yeah, it's not about the debate, brother.
Okay, all right.
I'll take another question, though. I'll take another question.
All right, okay, so you want to pass on that question. All right.
Yeah.
You clearly said that Negroes and Moors are the same, right?
Yes, you said it too.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Negroes and Moors are the same.
Yeah.
All right, so was there Negroes in America?
Hold on. That would be 3 questions. He got 2 questions to ask you. Wait, 1. Go ahead, brother.
Appreciate it. All right.
I ain't get an answer for my AP. I ain't get an answer. The first question he ain't never answered. So I just asked him 2 questions.
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad. Go ahead, ask him another one. My bad. That's my bad.
So let me say it again. All right, so you said Negroes and Moors are the same, right?
Yeah, he said yeah.
All right, was it Negroes in America before 1492?
By misnomer, yeah.
By misnomer? What you mean by
Yeah.
misnomer?
Yes,
So
because
black, so a Negro.
no, this just question and answering, brother.
Hold up, but I'm not getting a definitive.
I'm not
answer.
answered you.
No,
I
you
said
did
they were there by misnomer. Negro means black, right?
Okay, so it was
right. Misnomer.
I'm trying to get some clarity on what you're at. So you saying
Right,
that it was, bro?
I'm saying by misnomer.
Okay, but it was okay, but by them titling that, obviously they must have seen black people here already, right?
Right, but black people don't mean you're the same genetically, though.
Oh my God!
I just showed you a picture. I just showed you a picture of a black Indian.
Hold on. Mute up A1. He got two. Well, you ain't got mute. Keep your mic unmuted. He got two questions for you. Go ahead.
Right. So the brother said that I lied about that source. That source was not from the museum. That source you showed was a question. Let me give you my bad. Why did you tell the people that source was from the museum when it wasn't, brother?
A1.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna show it to you again because you seem like you blind. Okay, obviously you must don't get this shit right. So these are three different sources. This source right here, look, the source I'm reading from is not even the other source that I'll be using.
What's the name of that source?
This source is called The Moor with the Emerald Level. This is from the Destin State Art Collection.
What's the name of the website?
What you mean, man? You find it. I ain't giving you the man. You do your work on that, bro. Ain't no checkmate. Here go another source right here. The graphic source of the Moor with the Emerald Cluster.
That's the real source.
Hold on, Wake. You gotta stay muted while he's answering your question. Go ahead.
Okay.
You got 30 seconds left.
All right. So this is from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Okay. Now look. Check this out. Now it says the same thing. It said Negro, but his curly hair, when seen from the front, it said almost entirely hidden by a jewel with a romantic image of an American Indian. So they still saying here Indian in this one. You did lie. Now look, here go the other. No. It says
that don't say he's an American Indian. Read it again.
It says images of an.
Read it again. You read it wrong.
It
says the crown is generally associated with the images of American Indians. The crown.
It says romantic images of American Indians.
The crown.
No,
not the people.
Hold on, Wake. You gotta stay muted, bro, while he's reading it, because it's called.
How you gonna tell me what my source says? It says right here. It says the Negro. It says, but his curly hair is when seen from the front almost entirely hidden by a jewel of gold feather crown with it said crown of a type generally associated with the romantic images of American Indian. Okay. Of American Indian. So they still calling him a Moor with the same other sources that go along with it.
All right. I think he got one more question for you. Then you get to ask your two questions.
All right. So if I showed you that Moor is a misnomer, are you going to continue to call yourself a misnomer?
Bro, it's not a misnomer. It's only a misnomer, and it's and these people attempt to try to hide the fucking history. That's why they call him misnomer. And just like you don't believe none of the other shit we talk about, of course you gonna say it's a misnomer. But you call yourself a misnomer. You run around here saying you black and you African American, which is an entirely misnomer. That's an oxymoron.
You got a question?
No, I got it. That's my answer to what you just said.
All right. Do I get a second question?
Yeah, I got another question for you. Why is my name so important? What is a Moorish name? Can you give me an example of what a Moorish name is?
It's like an Arabic name, somebody from that area. It's not an Algonquin. Hold on, mute your mic, brother. It's not an Algonquin name. Okay. It's not a Native American name. It's okay. That's the question, brother. Now you got another question.
So all right, so you saying that it's not an Arabic name. Didn't I just read to you that Moors is not entirely restricted to Muslims, Arabics, or Islamics? Didn't I read that in the beginning of the debate? It's number one. Number two, you just said a Moor is a Negro.
What's your second question?
You just said a Moor is a Negro. Negro.
What's your second question, A1?
That's my first. That was my first question. My second, I'm just saying what he said. I'm rebutting what he just said. Don't I get
you can't rebut. No, just this is a question and answering. So
okay, so what he just said, that's not up for debate. That's not up for me to rebut.
In the last 5 minutes, yes, but right now, just question and answer.
Okay, no, he can ask his question.
All right, my question is this. And after we do the questions, we get a back and forth, right?
This is the back. This is our back.
Let me answer the question real quick. Ask you a question real quick. Give me 1 second, brother. All right. When we look up the etymology of cigar, it stated that blackamoor and other foreign people. So those pictures you use are description are not from America. Why?
You talking to me?
Yeah, that was my question. And what why you use those?
All right, so the cigar figure is just one of your sources, right? But I showed you sources where they calling cigar figures blackamoor Indians, right? Didn't I show you that the title of it say Moor blackamoor pipe, and then when you go into it, say he's an Indian? So it's like, what are you talking about? You showed me the etymology of that particular of the cigar tobacco sign, right? Now we've seen the signs ourselves, and the signs ourselves says Indian. Did you not see that? Did you not see the evidence that I showed from actual auctions and actual museums? Did I not show that? So why are you bringing up one definition?
All right. Do I got another question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Now,
actually, we at the 5 minute marker, so y'all gonna go back and forth. So after you ask this question, y'all be just going back and forth. Go ahead.
All right, so like I was saying, right?
Okay, we could do the back and forth, bro.
All right, so is the word more restricted to Muslim?
Repeat that again.
Is the word or the term more, is it restricted to just being a Muslim?
No, but that's not this is what I'm trying to say, brother. Just because you pick the latter definition of the word more, it still has an origin. You can't start from you got to go to the beginning. So when you first read that etymology of the word more, that's the beginning. You are Johnny coming lately by picking the last definition, bro. No matter how you put it, they not the original Moors.
So according to the Isa Khan source I get showed, right? The Aztec culture is thousands of years old, my dude. And they said they refer to them as Moors. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The Aztec culture existed way before 7-11, before the Moors even went into Spain. Now, once again.
But you said somebody referred to them as that. You keep your hold on, your whole video, the whole video, you were saying people refer to them. I never seen nobody calling themselves Moors, bro. It's always, well, these people is Moors, and somebody else saying, why you ain't show people from America saying we Moors, brother? Why you couldn't put more to America?
You just pulled up.
Why you couldn't put more to America, brother? But I was able to put more to Africa. I was able to put more to Africa, brother.
You're not going to sit up here and just fucking do all the talking, nigga. Now you just pulled up the motherfucking Washingtons. Don't they call themselves Moors? And didn't they say they're the oldest people on earth? I'm not saying that. But somebody felt confident enough to go put a motherfucking what's the name against the United Nations and file a land claim under what they believe and win the fucking land claim. So they believe that they Moors. They say that they're the oldest people on the fucking planet, right? They went up against the United Nations and did what everybody's supposed to be doing, right? And they put a land grant and took their fucking land back. And I showed you the Lenny Lenape. I showed you an actual law document. And you pull up some Mickey Mouse source talking about, oh, he's showing his pictures. Oh, he's showing his pictures.
On. I showed you. I showed you. Hold on. I showed you where they didn't even like being called Moors, brother. Hold on. I was quiet, bro. I was quiet, bro. I showed you where those people hated being called Moors. But yet you still keep, hold on, brother. But you still keep using the term, even though these people knew who they were. You doing what the white man is doing. You doing the same shit, bro.
I'm asking you a question. What year was that again?
Go back and rewind the video, bro.
Okay, that was in 1800s.
Go back and rewind the video, bro.
So it was in 1800s.
Hold on. It was better than yours 2016 source that you pulled up, bro. You pulled up a 2016 source, bro.
Okay, so listen. All right, so check it out, right? So you pulled up a source from 1800 and them saying that what they didn't like, right? I pulled up another source from the Smithsonian Institute telling you that obviously they didn't even have no contact with no white colonization. They had their own schools and they didn't fuck with nobody. So how the fuck can the term be applied to them? They will have to accept the term. How you want to apply a term on people who's sovereign? And then they put it in law, and they didn't rebut that law because the document wouldn't exist if they was in disagreement with it. It wouldn't exist. Why is the document still on the fucking internet? And why is there other sources stating that these people were sovereign? They didn't even fuck with no white people. They weren't even part of the United States. So how can somebody put a term on them when they didn't even have contact with them? I'll wait.
I'm gonna tell you this right here, bro. You didn't put Moors to America. You put what somebody called them. In the beginning of this debate, I told you this debate is not about that white people call Indians Moors. This debate is not about Moors being a description.
Tom, family, Tom. This concludes today's debate. This was a fire one. Shout out to the real ones in the building that's rocking out. This was one of them ones. So I'm going to need y'all to hit that like button and thumb up the video, all right? Hit the like button and thumb up the video. You understand? This was one of them ones. And I'm going to see y'all on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And, the polls are in the chat. I do need y'all to drop those fire emojis before anything. The polls are in the chat. I'm going to drop the polls now officially. I'm putting the polls in the chat right now. polls is in the chat. So let's read it out. Y'all can screenshot it. Huh?
Now you good, bro?
You good?
Yeah.
All right. 58% says A1 won, 41% says YK won. 74 total cast votes. Y'all can go screenshot that. This was a fire ass debate, man. I'm not even gonna lie. You came with some shit, A1, YK. You came with some shit too. Did incredible. Shout out to everybody in the win, in the building. A1, congratulations on your win. And this was a fire one, man. Somebody said they didn't see the poll. The poll was up for almost 15 minutes, you guys.
I ain't even hear you say the poll because I didn't even vote, but fuck it. Yeah, man, shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, whatever information that was showed, if you don't agree with it, it's cool. But do not come from my head, please. Like, I mean, I'm just saying that respectfully. Like, if you don't agree with the information, nobody's trying to convert anybody into anything except being a god and a goddess. Okay, so at the end of the day, whatever was exhibited, it was information and it was sources that was actually that came from other people. It didn't come from A1. The only way it came from A1 as a result of me trying to find research to validate my argument. So, you know, if anybody have any issues with it,
it's mad people saying they didn't get the vote. I'm looking at the chat, brother.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how, but it was in the chat for 15 minutes, brother, like it always is. It always goes in after the third round, his last rebuttal and the question and answer round every time.
But you ended like right after the shit, right after we finished the shit. Like you just snatched it.
I always end it right after. We don't even sit around and have conversations after the debates. You know, we leave immediately to go to the after party or wait till the next day to do the after party.
Man, you know how it is. Stop fucking crying, nigga.
Nah, bro. Nah, AP let that shit. No, AP let the poll run the last time, bro. It's good, bro. Look, bro, I'm good.
The reason,
listen, bro. I know I did. Listen, I know I did my best, bro. I don't care. I'm not gonna make no excuse, bro. I'm not gonna make no excuses, bro.
YK, real talk.
Hey, YK. Only 34 people. 37 people paid for tickets, brother, and there were 74 cast votes.
So who got the most votes? Whoever got the most votes says a lot. Whoever got the most votes, it says a lot. Somebody let the back door open, but it's cool.
Well, I mean, it could be two people watching it on two different devices. They can have it on their phone and be watching on their TV. It does show up as
conspiracy.
There's no all the shit was ran the same way it's always ran. Don't try to pull that funny stuff.
They done backdoored me.
Listen, man, YK, brother.
Nah, but good shit, A1. I ain't making no excuses, bro.
You can't be a sore loser. It don't look good looking like that. I'm just telling you.
Like, bro, you just said 34 people paid for a ticket, and we got 76 votes.
I said 37, brother. And I seen a couple people that was in here. Sean P. A couple people that was paying Africans that definitely didn't pay, brother. I'm not even trying to call you guys out.
AP, real quick, brother. YK, did you win this debate or did you lose?
I won, bro. I smoked this shit out you, bro.
You can lose, than a motherfucker, bro.
The real ones know you got smoked, bro. But
the real ones,
the poll said you won, though. The poll said, listen, bro. Bro, I'm yo. Look, P game though. I'm not mad, bro. I know what I did. I know what I came with.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna mute both of y'all, man. Listen, good debate, both of y'all. Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. This was a fair and unbiased debate, just like it always is. See y'all in the after party. Matter of fact, we about to crank one up now. So I see y'all on the other side. Y'all can come over there, YK, Ahanu. See you on the other side.